Hey fam, what's up? How's it going? Happy Sunday, and I'm back with everyone's favorite visual novel, Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. Thumbtack, good morning. Hope you're doing well. Good morning, Savvy. Hope you're doing well as well. Last time we played this game was like, I don't know, probably like a month and a half or so ago. We finished the first game, and now we get to move on to the second game, Dual Destinies. Super excited because it was giving us anime vibes when we peeked at the intro last time. I got my water though. I got some, not sponsored, but Trader Joe's snacky clusters, which is sea salt potato chips, corn chip dippers, and mini pretzel nuggets mixed in milk chocolate. So far it tastes good. But that's to keep me awake, because I woke up like 30 minutes ago. Water to hydrate. And I'm ready to do these voices. But just reminded that I am streaming on both Twitch and YouTube. And if you guys be a solid and like and retweet the stream tweet, that'd be great. There y'all go. Pull that, move that over, because I only have 2 monitors and everything sucks. And I need a 3rd monitor. Okay. I'm actually really excited to get back into Phoenix Wright. We got this game and then we got the 3rd game. And then we also have the Ace Attorney investigations coming up in like, it's either September or October, I don't remember. We'll get to that after we finish this. And then also the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles as well. So even more, like, we're not done with Phoenix Wright at all. And rumor has it that with them bringing this trilogy, remastering this trilogy for current gen, that this is creating new Ace Attorney fans, thus eventually giving us a 7th Phoenix Wright game. Costumes? Hold on. Oh, nostalgic sweater. Oh, yeah. Old school suit. Oh, I see. Then for Apollo, styling street clothes. And then for Athena Sykes, don't know who this is. That Miss Academy uniform. I guess we'll learn about her. All right, well, as usual, let me turn off alerts because we're about to dive into this and get super duper into it. I want to turn off captions only because of I'll be reading everything, so it'll be on the screen, except for my thoughts, but that's what closed captioning is for. Turn that off. I turn off the Ko-Fi thing too. All right, let's get into this. 2013 is when this game came out. Yeah, I forgot how, I don't know, intense and traumatizing this intro was.
These are dark times, where the law has been reduced to rubble.
Like, we got
It's up to us to restore it.
voice acting, a whole anime intro. I forgot.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It looks like your target finally decided to make a move. Don't you worry. I've got a trusty new partner on board.
Done. You bet. Let's do this.
She's been with us for half a year, though I can hardly believe it. Anyway, her power will be our greatest weapon.
Dude, that's me on a daily basis. Just clumsy.
Yeah, it's for this very reason I returned.
I think this is the actual voice actor from like the anime for Phoenix.
Time to bring it to an end.
Oh look, it's me. Same. Yeah, I can't see it, but I'm twerking in my chair to the song. Hey, Juicy. I hope we get to see Miles in this game. He's on the cover for the trilogy, so I'm not sure which game he shows up in, but it'd be nice to see Miles again. Since obviously Phoenix is a lawyer again. It's been 7 years since the last trilogy, 8 now, because I believe it's a year later since Apollo Justice. According to, and it's funny because the Ace Attorney Twitter uploaded the timeline with all the dates, and it says a year later after Apollo Justice for Dual Destiny. So it's been 8 years since the first game, or the third game. I just gotta know what happened to our boy Apollo. Why he got one eye though? What happened? What happened, baby boy? Episode 1, Turnabout Countdown. Ooh, I'm excited. Yeah, well, this is intense. The best thing about bombs is how they erase and destroy without discretion. He's so suave, isn't he? Now all I have to do is pin everything on that little girl. Let me guess, the orange hair girl is gonna be our client. Ooh. District Court Defendant Lobby, okay. Why is he suited up like a final boss? Got the goggles and glasses and everything. December 17th, 9:22 a.m. District Court Defendant Lobby number 5. This is fancy compared to the other lobby.
Nope. Not feeling nervous at all. It's amazing what a girl can get used to. Even a tense atmosphere like this is no biggie.
You doing okay, Adina? Whoa, hold the phone. We went from like 2D animation to 3D. Whoa. Yeah, he already bandaged up, missing the eye. Was you in the lobby when it exploded or something, Apollo? Put in work to fix these games though. I can't remember if well, not saying can't remember because I've never played the original version, but I'm very curious in the original version, what platform was this on first off? I know it was on the DS, but was it on the regular DS or was it on the 3DS? And also did it go from 2D to 3D animation as well? But this is wild, and his hair looks even more wild in 3D. I'm happy we got our boy though, Apollo. I love Apollo so much. Oh, Apollo. Yeah, doing great. Like, I'm a little too great. Oh yeah? Well, that's good to hear. Although, I could have sworn I heard your voice crack for a second there. Not the smirk. Oof, I'm that transparent, huh? Oh, are we? Wait, as a main character, are we Athena? Is this suddenly Athena? I think her last name is Sykes. Athena Sykes, Ace Attorney? Only say this because usually we see the person, we don't see the person that's talking. Like, if we don't see them, that means that that is who we're playing, aka Phoenix, aka Apollo. But we see Apollo, so that means we are Athena. This is also, his smile is creeping me out. Cracking? No, my voice isn't cracking. There's a still here, I tell you. This is Apollo Justice. He's a fellow lawyer at the office I work for. Apollo's the lead for the defense on this case. But I'm going to be there at the bench with him doing what I can to help out. I'll do whatever it takes to defend Junie. Okay, so our defendant is Junie. Or I should say our client is Junie. Speaking of still, how are you holding up? That explosion really did a number on you. Oh my god, he was in the courtroom when it exploded. Jeez. I'm just happy that you're okay, Athena. Although, I can't pretend I have no connection to this case. That's why I'm gonna see to it that Junifer's name is cleared. And I'm sure you feel much the same way. You got that right. I won't rest until Junie is completely cleared of all suspicion. Apollo? Athena, who's talking? Oh, I guess it's just Junie. Thank you for doing this for me. Junie. Coronavirus? What the? Are you okay? Sorry about that. I always seem to go into coughing fits whenever I get nervous. And so you smell the sunflowers on your hat to calm yourself down. This kind of thing never happens. At home in the forest, though. Girl. This is Junifer Woods. She's my dear, dear childhood friend, and she's also our client for this case. The news keeps repeating that Judy is the alleged bomber. Hold on, can I speed up this text? I don't want to text skip. Wait time? What do you mean by wait time? Adjust the length of time into the next line and dialogue is displayed in consultations. During trial segments, after failing to present the correct evidence a few times during your cross-examination, for similar segments, you have the option to consult your partner for hints. That's funny. This feature is only available in Dual Destiny and Spirit of Justice, not available in Ace Attorney or Apollo Justice. Okay, well, I don't see anything about making the text go a little faster. But that's ridiculous. There's no way Junie would do anything like that. I brought you a little snack, Nina. Just a little something from my garden. Hey, thanks. So, is this an orange or a tangerine? It's an orange, my grandma says. That orange is the color of strength and endurance. Oh, I get it. Strength for the trial, right? Junie, you're always so good to me. Jeez, look at me, standing here clutching an orange to my chest with tears in my eyes. Well, don't you worry. We'll be so powerful in there, they won't know what hit them. Right, Apollo? Yeah, that's right. Come what may, this is one trial. Just can't lose. We just can't lose. All right, well, it's just up to me now as Athena Sykes. Apollo! Apollo! Ugh. This is wonderful. This is great.
Blood is seeping through his bandages. One of his wounds must have reopened. Really, Apollo? You standing there, arms crossed, and you somehow reopen a wound? All this time he was trying to put on a brave face, but he was really overdoing it. Did the bombing just happen like yesterday?
Mr. Justice!
Huh?
The trial's about to start, sir. Please proceed to the courtroom.
What? Now? But Apollo's in no state to defend.
Oh, God. Arg. I have to defend Juniper.
What are we gonna do? The trial's about to start with or without us. There's only one other option I can think of at a time like this.
What, get Phoenix?
But even if I called him now, he'd never get here in time. No. Wait, there's something else I can do. Apollo, give me all of the evidence for the case.
Huh?
What are you gonna do? Bailiff.
Yes, miss?
The defense would like to submit a substitution of attorney petition. Dina!
You're not seriously.
You just concentrate on getting better. I'll defend Junie.
All by yourself? Athena, stop for a second and think about what you're saying. You've never once taken a case alone before, right? Why is the exclamation mark upside down like this in Spanish? Oh, it is Spanish. I didn't read the 2 words after no. All I saw was no. I did not read. Anyway, I can handle it, I think.
But I guess it's really up to you, Junie. Would you be okay with me taking over? Sure. I believe in you, Dina, and that's enough for me.
Also, I realized that I can't but like pull up the menu to see information about the characters so far. There's not I just got the options button and I got the history and then autoplay.
You're worried for me, aren't you? To be honest, I'm pretty nervous too. I think my heart might just burst out of my chest. But you're in no shape to stand at the bench now. Can't he, like, sit? So you'll just have to leave it to me.
He is sweating buckets. Alright? I can see your mind's made up anyway. I hate it that I can't be there, but I know you'll give your utmost to defend Juniper.
You bet I will. Rest assured of that.
Apollo can still sit next to us, like.
My name is Athena Sykes. I'm still just a newbie, but I'm a lawyer. This is only the second time I've taken the lead in a defense case. It'll be the first time I stand up there alone, though. But I have to do this. And I'm definitely not about to let anything bad happen to Junie.
December 17th, 9:46 a.m. District Courtroom number 5. Ooh. Court is now in session, day 1. All rise. Oh, this is fancy. Court is now in session for the trial of Juniper Woods. Somehow Apollo Justice gets hurt in the bombing, but our judge here doesn't.
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
I like our color scheme, blue and yellow. Oh no, not this man. Why is this man our opponent in every first case?
The prosecution is also ready, Your Honor.
In his hair, oh my god, he grew it. Or is that like an implant? Or like, that's not real?
And what is the meaning of this? I was under the impression that Mr. Red Monkey would be my opponent today.
Not Red Monkey. Yes, well, a substitution of attorney petition was submitted just a few moments ago. Due to the explosion in the courthouse yesterday, Mr. Justice is unable to continue. That was just yesterday, and he's walking around with bandages and a patch on his eye.
I see. Not at all surprised he used that as an excuse to run away. With me as an adversary, who wouldn't want to feign illness in order to escape?
What? The nerve of that guy. I'm gonna give him a piece of my mind. Well, I would if I wasn't so nervous. You come back with food to see someone let pain into a hair for men club? No, really. This arrogant jerk.
You arrogant jerk. No, Widget. Is my hearing getting worse? I could have sworn I heard the defense say something just now.
No, you didn't hear anything at all, especially not from me. How odd. I could have sworn I also heard something.
Oh, that would be my indispensable partner, Widget. He sometimes blurts out what I'm thinking. Well then, if that's the case, then it's clear contradiction to what you just stated.
A contradiction?
You just stated that you said nothing. However, that device of yours says what you're thinking. Then you indeed said I was, what was it? Elegance at work?
No.
Actually, it was arrogant jerk. At any rate, what does it matter if it's a red monkey or a yellow monkey facing me?
That is, that's racist right there. I'm just saying.
No fresh out of law school rookie can defend this witness.
Mr. Payne, I believe that's enough. Let us get back to the case.
Of course, Your Honor. I'm more than ready to show this little girl why they call me the rookie humiliator.
No one calls you that, and you have not humiliated a rookie in the last 8 years.
I knew it. He really is an arrogant jerk.
Arrogant jerk. Miss Sykes, if you continue to insult the prosecution, I will remove you from this court.
I'm very sorry. It was just a knee-jerk reaction.
Now then, Mr. Payne, your opening statement, if you please.
Thank you, Your Honor.
It's gonna take a while for me to get used to this animation of the characters now.
Now then, the incident occurred yesterday here at this very courthouse in courtroom number 4.
You wish to keep your lid on it? That thing could ruin a case? It really could. At that time, the trial for a certain bombing was being held in courtroom number 4. Ah, yes, I was proceeding over that trial as well.
Proceeding?
And Mr. Justice was there as the lawyer for the defense.
A bomb that was being presented as evidence suddenly went off during the trial. It was a terrible incident, and courtroom number 4 was completely destroyed. Fortunately, we were able to start evacuation procedures before the explosion occurred. Just a few seconds more and it would have turned into a horrific loss of human life.
There was, in fact, one death, was there not?
That is correct, Your Honor. When courtroom number 4 was examined after the blast, the body of Detective Candace Arm was discovered.
Candace Arm?
She was to take the stand as a witness later in the trial.
I suppose she wasn't able to evacuate in time. What a terrible tragedy. I must admit, I stumbled at least 10 times myself before I was able to escape. Oh, Judge.
Maybe the court should see about getting you even shorter robes. The victim was found near the entrance to the courtroom. I suspect she stayed until the very end to help guide the others out safely. Your Honor, allow me to submit as evidence the victim's autopsy report and details about the bomb.
And that says how was he able to escape, but she wasn't? Right, no. And foul play, it sounds like. Arm's autopsy report caused a death trauma to back of head caused by impact with a flat object. Time of death between 8 and 11 a.m.
Stuffed animal bomb. The time bomb that destroyed the courtroom, it was hidden inside a stuffed animal when it was detonated. Okay, I know how this works. All evidence for the trial is filed in the court record. When I want to check something out, I just use R1. Alright. Attorney's badge. My brand new shiny badge. It shows that I'm a defense attorney. Got the autopsy report. Blood force trauma to the back of the head. Time about to destroy the courtroom. It's kind of cute looking. I better take a peek later. Now then, please call the accused to the witness stand. Oh, is that the jury behind us now? I see that the jury system is in full effect now, I guess, that Phoenix did in the last episode of the last game. Defendant, are you feeling alright? You're looking a bit pale. I'm so sorry. I was feeling a bit weak when I first arrived here at the courthouse. But I'm alright. Junie's really giving her all. I better make sure I do the same. If we could please proceed. Your name and occupation, defendant. Jennifer Woods. I'm a high school student. What? How old are we as Adina? They said that we were childhood friends. So if she's a high school student, what is Adina? That flower would have killed you? There's also a plant. Jennifer Woods. Miss Woods, can you confirm you were in the courthouse on the day in question? Yes, I came to know Apollo Justice through my friend Dina. And so, I was there yesterday. To watch his trial and lend my support. Bruh. The animation of when they, like, you know, lose control or, you know, go wild. Planted on the 3D character designs is actually horrifying. Something's wrong. Junie's really scared. Shout out to Apollo for still showing up to work after being caught in a bomb in that courtroom. Couldn't be you. No, I would still be in the hospital. Did you know I'm also known as the defendant humiliator? It looks like I have yet another chance to show everyone how I earned that moniker. Does this arrogance know no bounds? I have to protect Junie no matter what. Hey, you arrogant, Prosecutor Payne. What is it? Do you want me to demonstrate why I'm known as the rookie humiliator instead? Deep breaths, Athena. Don't let him get to you. Prosecutor Payne, Junie is telling the truth. Mr. Justice also backed up her claim when we saw him in the defendant lobby. Also, Junie, he said that he was glad to get the lotus root you gave him to. He was? My grandma says lotus root is good for your eyes. She says that can even help you see in the future. Oh, give me some lotus roots then. They can? Then that's the perfect present for a lawyer. And if that's true, I guess he must have not eaten them. A sweet, meek girl like this blowing a courtroom to bits? I must say, it's very hard to believe. Objection! Now, Your Honor. Don't let her seemingly innocent appearance fool you. The defendant had a motive for committing this crime. That's not true. I don't have any kind of motive. And I didn't even know that lady who was killed. I admit the investigation didn't turn up any connection between the victim and defendant. However, that doesn't matter. The only thing that does is her objective was the destruction of courtroom number 4 itself. Hey, what's that supposed to mean? Why in the world would Miss Woods want to do that? That's a very good question coming from a novice such as yourself. But first, a question for the defendant. Have you ever been brought up on a false charge? Brought up on false charges? What? Why, yes. Yes, I have. And did that experience cause you to harbor a grudge against the court system? Objection! Now, wait just 1 minute. If that kind of thing was a motive for blowing things up, then every one of our clients would turn into bombers.
That's a valid point. We wouldn't have a single courthouse left standing in the land.
I can see the accused isn't the only one who might bear resentment against the courts. Miss Woods is the only person who could have committed this crime. Why? Because we have found some decisive evidence that proves this defendant's guilt. Decisive, huh? I'll believe it when I see it. It involves a very unique aspect of the bomb itself, Your Honor.
And what exactly was so unique about it?
Why don't we have Miss Sykes answer that question?
Huh?
Me? I noticed that you appear to be very nervous. And, well, gentleman that I am, I'd like to offer you the chance to gain some confidence with such an easy question. Could he be any more condescending? Really, what a dirty unpleasant man. L is for a loser. What did it just say? Nothing. Not a single thing. Now, let's see. What was I supposed to do at a time like this? Oh, I know. The court record. The information I need is somewhere in the court record.
All right, Miss Sykes, let's hear your answer. What was unique about the bomb that blew up the courtroom? Was it because it was in Apollo's briefcase, in the judge's pocket, or inside a stuffed animal?
Mr. Payne, what kind of simpleton do you take me for? It was stuffed inside a stuffed animal. Its evil intentions covered up by a cute exterior. Very good. Have a cookie. The bomb that went off in the courtroom was indeed hidden inside a stuffed animal. There. How do you like that? Not bad, huh? I am fine. Just like I said from the start, I can do this.
Yes, as I recall, the bomb was inside a stuffed animal the whole time. I never even got to take a look at it. Well, what connection does this impish elephant have with the defendant?
The answer to that question lies in another piece of evidence, which I have here.
And what, pray tell, is this? It appears to be a little singed.
It's a tale, Your Honor. The tale of a poor victim of the explosion.
This is incredible. Are you saying it's Detective Arm's tale?
Judge. Your Honor is so very close, but no. It belongs to this stuffed animal. It's called the Phony Fancy, a rather unpleasant name if you ask me.
He's the mascot for a campaign to eliminate false evidence and false charges, is he not?
Exactly. His motive is phony evidence is just trunked up. That's so wrong on so many levels. The Phony Phantom's tail is made of vinyl cloth. And we found something very interesting on its surface. The defendant's fingerprints. What? The Phony Phantom provided the prosecution with all the evidence we needed. It clearly proves that the accused handled the bomb. Oh my god. But that doesn't make any sense. Why would Junie's fingerprints be on it?
That does appear to be a pretty irrefutable evidence. The court accepts it into evidence.
Funny Fanny's tail added to the court record. Funny Fanny tail. A piece of the stuffed animal that the bomb was inserted into. The defendant's fingerprints were found on it. Are we able to examine it? No.
Miss Woods, do you have an explanation for this?
I don't understand. How about you, Miss Sykes? Do you have any plausible explanation to refute this decisive piece of evidence? Well, I can't do it. I can't think of a single thing. But I better come up with something, for Junie's sake. If you can't produce an answer, we could always go straight to the ruling, if you prefer. No, I have to say something, fast. Oh no, I can't get my voice to work. Why now, of all times? Oh, what was that? I thought I overcame this already. Maybe I'm still not ready to stand in court? Anime moment? Oh boy. She gone through something. I wonder if episode 5 of this game is gonna relate to this. Oh, poor baby Athena.
As you can see, there is no room for debate.
You know, my voice wasn't too off with Pain here. Wow, we get voice acted cutscenes.
Why, it's you.
Our boy Phoenix, Wright? Let's go. And now, just like that, we are controlling Phoenix. Sorry it took me so long to get here, Athena. Apollo explained the whole thing to me over the phone. He asked me to help you out in his place. Thanks for coming. I hate to admit it, but I was having a real rough time on my own. Oh, I don't know. I think you were doing just fine, all things considered. And you hung in there, giving me enough time to get here. Now let's turn things around. You got it, boss. Ho, ho, ho. You see, this is why she wanted to be a lawyer? Yeah, obviously, whatever murder case she was involved in, justice was not served. And she wants to, I guess, right those wrongs by becoming a defense attorney herself. Ho! Look who showed up out of the blue. If it isn't Mr. Phoenix Wright, you always manage to surprise me. Your Honor, Mr. Payne has called for an early ruling, but I believe there are still many things that need to be deliberated. How did Miss Wood's fingerprints wind up on the stuffed animal tell? How was the bomb even detonated? Until these questions are answered, I assert it's impossible for a fair ruling to be made. You're absolutely right. Let us continue from where we left off. I assume you have no objections, Mr. Payne. Not at all, Your Honor. Girl, drink some water. Miss Woods really looks like she's having a hard time. Jeannie's really struggling, Mr. Wright. I get the sense she's afraid of the courtroom itself. Because of yesterday? Yeah, it was understandably very traumatic for her. Poor thing. And here she is, back at the courthouse again, being so brave. I'd like to make a request, Your Honor. If at all possible, I'd like to have Miss Woods rest in the lobby. Given the defendant's condition. Very well, I grant special permission. You go get some rest, Junie, and leave the rest to us. Okay, thank you. Sorry about this. Phoenix Wright. I've been looking forward to meeting you. It's been a while, Mr. Payne. You're more clueless than I heard. I do believe you mean, how do you do? What? For I am gasping pain. Oh my god. Is he gasping for pain? I am the younger brother of your long-standing rival, Winston Payne. That's the younger brother. What? Long-standing rival? When were we ever rivals, let alone long-standing?
You'll see, Mr. Wright. I will cleanse Winston of the disgrace he met with you at your hands.
Oh, looks like this royal pain is going to be as thoroughly unpleasant as the other.
Your Honor, the prosecution would now like to call a decisive witness to the stand. This witness will testify as to how the accused detonated the bomb in the courtroom.
Very well. Please call your witness, Mr. Payne.
Witness, your name and occupation, please.
Witness?
Name, Ted. Detonate.
Not detonate. Hello, welcome in, everyone. Hi. I don't have notifications on, so didn't hear anything, but welcome in, welcome in. Hallie, how was your stream? I hope it was well. And welcome in. I'm SuperNamu, JRPG variety streamer here, currently playing Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Dual Destiny. Banana, hello. Welcome. How you doing today? You here for the amazing voice acting? You're at the wrong stream if you're here for that. Fusion, what's up? How's it going? Master R50, hello. Welcome in. I hope everyone's doing well today. Callie, what was you streaming? I hope your stream was good. This is awkward because it's like really quiet right now. So Ted tonight. I love the pun in this guy's name. Itchy Mitchy, hello, welcome. Digital Devil Saga. The way I always have a hard time saying that name. Digital Devil Saga. Digital Devil Saga.
Occupation, bomb disposal specialist.
Oh my, what a strange robotic voice you have.
Speech synthesis via typing. It is the same as me talking.
He sounds exactly like a robot.
Can't you speak in a normal manner? I can. He can. But I do not like to speak. Speaking is inefficient. Energy expenditure. Speaking, typing, or speaking better than typing, understand? You trust this guy with your life?
What an odd witness.
Mr. Tenate.
Ted Tenate.
Mr. Tenate was in charge of the bomb for that trial and was there when it went off.
Being a bomb squad specialist, do you have any relation to the victim?
Negative. I first met the girl while on this job. Many people are employed by the police. I know only a fraction of them. However, I was shocked when it first discovered the body of the victim. Hey, second, what's up? Ted's name. I'm about to bust.
Shocked.
I was the first one on the scene after the explosion. I went there to ensure safety, but I ended up discovering a dead body.
So he was the first to discover the body, was he? Nah, this man didn't. Take the mask off. I need to see who this is.
He is here to testify about the circumstances surrounding the moment of the explosion.
Yeah. Detonate. Very well. The court will hear Mr. Tenate's testimony. I think that's probably like my favorite thing about the Phoenix Wright games. The pun names. Need to see his face too? But at the very least, show this court some respect and remove that face guard witness. Oh, nah, he did it. That's RoboCop over here. When the bomb went off.
The bomb was originally disarmed by me, then transported here as evidence. Bomb name HH3000, operated by timer or with a remote. I was watching from the gallery when I suddenly became alarmed.
Sir? Sir? I'm distracted by your eye animation.
I saw that the bomb's timer was counting down.
How did you see the bomb's timer counting down when it was inside of a stuffed animal? He's just like, you for real, shut up. So even though the bomb was supposed to be disarmed, it somehow got switched on? I'm screaming. Precisely. Activating the timer is very simple. 1. Connect wires. 2. Switch on timer. A monkey could do it. I am sure even you would be able to, Mr. Wright. Oh, I guess this makes you the blue monkey in this barrel of fun, boss. I'd now like to begin my cross-examination. Huh? What the? Mr. Tenade, what is that? HH3000, aka a bomb. A bomb? Great googly boo. He said great googly boo like he was out. Man's faded so fast. Oh my god. Mr. Tenade, I demand that you disarm at this instant. This is disassembly complete. HHPH 5.3 seconds, 0.2 seconds short of my personal best. Not him speed running, disarming a bomb. Oh my god, I got tears in my eyes from how fast both Pain and the judge faded. Oh my god. Are you trying to give me a heart attack? I'm not exactly a spring chicken, you know. He dipped so fast. This is an exact replica of the HH3000. It is used to practice disarming bombs. Disarm equals success. Explosion equals failure. An exact replica of the bomb that exploded, is it? So that's what it looked like. I submitted a photograph of the real bomb taken just before the trial. Dimensions 10-inch H by 10-inch height by 10-inch wide by 10-inch. What's the D? Dimension? Weight 12 pounds. A perfect replication. You're deaf. Okay. Your bomb does appear to be very good. Be a very good copy indeed. Yes, however, I could not replicate the detonation mechanism. It has a very puzzling wiring setup. It is regrettable I could not replicate it. Witness, that's enough. There's no need to replicate anything here. HH3000 bomb. It was hidden inside a stuffed animal and can be detonated remotely. Ah, wait, I can look at that. Alloy and plating. I think it's great you couldn't replicate it, considering you pulled a whole bomb out of your back pocket. No, really. And now if the defense would begin their cross-examination. Where has Miss Sykes gone to? Athena, you could come out now. Okay, Mr. Wright, let's get to work. I guess you were pretty scared, huh? What? I don't know what you're talking about. She was about to bolt. Hey, put a socket in, widget. As transparent as ever. Now let's see, where were we? We were at the cross-examination. After what happened yesterday, I was terrified and not even there. No, really, like, all the dipping, definitely me. Oh, cross-examination, of course. She seems disoriented. I wonder if she's alright. Maybe I should ask Athena if she remembers how to cross-examine to help her focus. I mean, this is our fifth game. I don't think I need to know how to cross-examine, but let's see what the dialogue is. Athena, you remember how to conduct a cross-examination, right? What? Of course I do. What kind of lawyer would I be if I didn't? Now, don't get upset. But what do you say to humoring me with a little review? You got it. Basically, we examine a witness's testimony and compare it against the court record, searching carefully for any inconsistencies. The screen text represents a witness's testimony. We can use the left stick to advance to the next statement of their testimony, and left stick to go back to the previous statement. Paying close attention to the testimony, we should keep an ear out for anything strange, and be prepared to present R1, our case, via the court records. The court record contains information on all the evidence we have at our disposal. We can use it to look for facts that conflict with what the witness has said, and present, triangle, any counter evidence we find to refute their statement. And what if nothing conflicts with the witness's testimony? Well, that's when we press L1, the witness, for more information. Finding any inconsistencies or lies in the testimony and reveal them to the court. That's what cross-examination is all about. Looks like you remember it just as I thought, and it was a nice refresher course for me. If you can't find any contradictions, and you flub up too often, don't be afraid to ask for help. Press triangle when the option to consult with me appears. I'll let you know where I think suspicion statement is. Ooh, that's a nice change. Sounds good. I'll be counting on you if I get in a bind. All right, it's cross-examination time. When the bomb went off. Alright, so the bomb was originally disarmed by me, then transported here as evidence. We're gonna press for those who are new, I press every statement regardless if it's a lie or not. I just want to hear everything.
Hold it!
You say that you disarmed the bomb, but are you really sure it was disarmed? Absolutely, I can disarm anything. In a flash. That looks more like dismantled than disarmed to me. Oh, pardon me. Let's see. Is there any chance you could have forgotten to disarm the bomb? Impossible. I do not make rudimentary mistakes like that. They say to err is human. Although the jury is still out on this guy. To err. Whatever. You must know, Mr. Wright, according to the court's own records, the fact that the bomb had indeed been disarmed was officially confirmed. I guess I could rule out the possibility that he forgot to disarm it. Could you talk about the bomb in a little more detail for the court, Mr. Tenate? Certainly. Bomb name, operated by timer or with a remote.
Hold it!
What was the approximate size and weight of the bomb? Dimensions, 10 inches height by 10 inches wide by 10 inches depth. Weight, 12 pounds. This information is also written on the photograph. Ah, yes, here it is on the back. According to this, the case is made out of alloy plating 5/16 of an inch thick. That certainly sounds like one thick and very heavy bit of metal. I bet if I drop that thing on your foot, you'd be hopping. If you drop that thing anywhere, I'd be hopping for the nearest exit. Very well, I believe the court has heard enough about the bomb itself. Extra thick bomb. No, really? Hold on for a second, y'all. Okay, sorry. I made YouTube chat disappear. So, Mr. Tenate, you were keeping an eye on the bomb. Where were you watching from? I was watching it from the gallery when I suddenly became alarmed.
Hold it!
Why were you in the gallery? My duties may have been over for the moment, but I wanted to keep watch. Even though the bomb was disarmed, you can never be too careful. Explosive devices are very dangerous things. Oh, how admirably responsible of you. A model to be emulated. I practice disarming bombs every day. I practice assembling them too. The disarming part, I get, but assembling them? Well, I'll have you know that I practice presenting evidence every day myself. I see, but do you ever practice having evidence presented to you? Presented to me? What? No, Then you cannot very well call yourself a professional yet, can you? Ah, that does it. I'm gonna start practicing having evidence presented to me every day. And you better drink some coffee, boss. We're gonna be pulling an all-nighter. I don't think that would be necessary. Or worth either of our time. So, Mr. Tenate, what did you witness from the gallery? I saw that bomb's timer was counting down. How, though? The bomb was stuffed inside of a stuffed animal. Even if you disarmed it, it was inside of a stuffed animal, so how did you know the timer was going down?
Hold it!
You saw it counting down clearly with your own eyes. I hardly think a timer as small as the one on this bomber could be seen from the gallery. These goggles help me see very small things clearly from very far away. Hold on, let me just... Yeah, hidden inside a stuffed animal. No, we pressing, or we're gonna present this after this conversation. I can even see what you had for breakfast by looking at your tie. Well, why do I suddenly feel like a bug under a magnifying glass? I guess it's possible he saw the timer if he was wearing those goggles. I'm not so sure. There's something that just doesn't sit right with me. I don't think I follow. The bomb was completely hidden inside the stuffed animal. So well concealed, in fact, that it didn't even look like a bomb at all. So you're trying to find testimony that conflicts with the evidence, right? That's right. Listening carefully to Mr. Tenate's testimony is just the first step. After that, it's a matter of taking a look at any evidence that seems relevant. Remember that you'll open the court record when you go to the present R1 something. If you find evidence that conflicts with the testimony, press triangle. Let's see. This testimony is about when the bomb went off. So I think the state it was in at the time would be pretty important. A bomb that didn't look like a bomb because it was inside a stuffed animal, huh? I'm gonna press this.
Objection!
So you say you saw the bomb's countdown, is that right? Of course, I clearly saw it counting down to 0. And I say that you are clearly lying. What are you talking about? There is no way you could have seen the bomb's timer. After all, the bomb was concealed inside a stuffed animal. Mr. Tenate, how can you claim to know the bomb was about to go off when you couldn't even see the timer? That is... What? No! That does seem like a glaring inconsistency indeed. Witness, how do you explain this? Well, Ooh, that was great, Mr. Wright. You found the contradiction right off the bat. Always remember, Athena, when you find an inconsistency in a witness's testimony, there's always a reason behind it. It could be a lie, a hidden meaning, a secret. Whatever it is, it's up to us to dig it out. And pointing out every contradiction we find is the best way to do it, right, boss? Now the question is, what can we dig out of Mr. Tenate? Well, let me see. No, there must be some mistake. Oh yes, of course. I remember now. The sound, I knew because of the sound. Sound? What sound? When the timer of this type of bomb is switched on, it beeps softly. Beep, beep, beep. It is the sound of the bomb counting down. A beeping noise, you say? I suppose it would be possible to notice that even with the bomb inside the stuffed animal. I simply made a mistake. My bad. Be softly, but how did you hear that from the gallery? No, really.
Objection!
How in the world did he hear such a tiny little sound all the way from the gallery? Listening for the sound of a bomb timer is an integral part of my work. I constantly undergo training so that I will never miss it. I hardly think training would help you hear something so soft from so far away. What now? Are you making light of the fine science of disarming bombs? It is a solemn mission that I put my life on the line to perform. What kind of specialist would be if I could not hear a bomb's timer? It is not like assembling a toaster, you know. Now you're just showing off. You keep asserting that sound was too tiny to hear, but the only tiny thing here is your skill as a lawyer. Being mistrustful is not an attractive quality, you know? And you're just overflowing with attractive qualities, are you? So let's replicate what happened and see if you can hear it for the gallery. Yeah. Second line, disarming bombs gotta be an easy job. If you get it right, everyone loves you. If you get it wrong, then it's not your problem anymore. Yeah. No, yeah. You're right. Or perhaps you have some proof that Mr. Tanay did not hear the sound. Well, no, but it still seems totally suspect. Scream a second. But it's going to be really hard to prove that he didn't hear something. If I have this correct, the prosecution's argument is that someone reactivated the bomb before it was brought into the courtroom. What I don't understand, Mr. Payne, is why you believe that person to be Miss Woods. That's simply, Your Honor. Mr. Tanay happened to be there when it happened. He was there when the defendant rearmed the bomb. What's this now? It happened before the trial started. It was when Detective Arm and I were transporting the bomb. Yeah, he just happened to be there. We brought the bomb to the lobby for the defense. Bomb equals evidence. The lawyer wanted to see it before the start of the trial. Looking for a chance to get at the bomb, Miss Woods was already there at the lobby. Her goal was surely to rearm the bomb and steal the remote switch. And we knew this by didn't disarm it since you were so great at it, right? The remote switch? Yes, the switch that controls the bomb remotely. It has been missing ever since the incident. Missing remote switch. A switch that starts the time bomb's countdown. It was stolen just before the blast and is now missing. Sure. It's missing. I am partially to blame. I left the bomb and remote on top of the transport case. And they were rearmed and stolen while I was talking with the lawyer. You find the switch, you find the bomber. The defendant then used a remote from inside the courtroom to start the timer.
Objection!
How can you assert so unequivocally that the bomb was rearmed in the lobby?
Objection!
Hey, Mad Cat, what's up? The bomb was safely secured in the transport case. The only time it was outside of the case was in that lobby. Therefore, that was the one and only opportunity anyone had to meddle with. Someone other than Mr. Tanay could have opened the case and taken the bomb out. He is shady. Impossible. The transport case is assigned exclusively to me. Do you see the number here? That is my identification number. And I have the only key that can open the case. The case, Tanay and Detective Arn transported the bomb in. Tanay has the key. Nevertheless, Mr. Payne's assertion is nothing more than conjecture. Okay. You have no proof that it was Miss Woods who stole the remote switch. And by the same token, you have no proof that it wasn't her. But what I do have is a piece of evidence that proves the defendant handled the bomb. That tell? 5 minutes, 24 seconds, 2.3, that's a second, sorry. The defense's advantage, I hate when words are in all caps. It's so much harder for me to read. The defense's advantage lasted a mere 5 seconds. Ugh, talk about a rotten hand. As long as they have her fingerprints as their trump card, I'm not a big disadvantage. It appears we have to hear from the defendant herself once more. I wholeheartedly agree, Your Honor. I would like to recall Miss Woods to the stand. I trust you have no objections, Mr. Wright. I'm worried about her condition, but we do need her testimony. On the other hand, I'm not sure I want to make Adina mad. I can read your feelings, you know, boss. I guess there's no hiding from her, huh? Don't worry. I know we need her testimony. But if anybody picks on her again, they'll pay. Guess she's already at anger level 1. Don't worry. I'll stop the proceedings before I let anything bad happen to her. The defense has no objections, Your Honor. In that case, I will take my leave. But before I do, there is just one more thing, Mr. Wright, is it? Me? Yes? Dismantling bombs is my job. Dismantling the case is yours. Do you think you can handle it? I look forward to seeing you try. This guy is hiding something. I just know it. Now, if you will excuse me. That was shady. Bailiff, please go out to the lobby and bring back the defendant. Junie. Thinking back to the villain-coded person we saw in the beginning, did they also have one blue eye and one red eye? I can't remember, but I remember them wearing goggles very similar to what he got on. Hi, Dina. She looks even worse off than before. Don't worry, Junie. We're here for you. Thanks, Dina. And I'll do my best too. You blew up the courtroom because you bear resentment against the courts, correct? No, of course not. What's that you say? I can barely hear you. I haven't done anything wrong. This prosecutor's scary.
Objection!
What an impudent little girl. Stop acting innocent and tell the truth. This is getting ugly. You rearmed the bomb because you wanted to blow up the courthouse. Admit it. That's why you went to the lobby where Mr. Justice was. Isn't that right? Mr. Wright, can I go get that prosecutor a smack? What? Of course not. Do we have to review courtroom manners 101 again? We can't let a creep that bullies innocent girls like this all so easily. I haven't forgotten about how he treated you. Don't worry about me, just help Junie. Her heart's crying out. She's so scared, so very scared. Looks like Adina's picking something up with her heightened sense of hearing. Oh, is that her special powers? And it sounds like this time it's the voice of Miss Wood's heart. Don't deny it. You sold the remote switch and used it in the courtroom, didn't you?
Objection!
Your Honor, please put a stop to this. Mr. Payne is badgering the defendant. Yes, Miss Woods does seem quite frightened. Mr. Payne, I asked that she behave more like a gentleman. Ah, but don't you know, Your Honor? There is no more a gentleman in this world than I. As if a gentleman or even a gentleman would behave like he does. Don't let that rude ruffian win. Nina. How dare you call a gentleman such as I a rude ruffian? I'll have you know I attend a manners class every Saturday. If you have to attend a manners class every Saturday... I'm not even going to finish. I'm more than just a mere gentleman. I'm a genteel man. Not when you're terrorizing a young lady or not. I demand my money back from that manners class if I were you. I should probably be the adult here and stop the two of them, but... Mr. Payne, that will be enough. Certainly, Your Honor. No further questions. Let's move on to the defendant's testimony. Miss Woods, please share with the court what you were doing when the bomb went off. When the bomb went off. Well, that day, I was watching from the gallery. The bomb went off, and rubble started falling. It fell on top of me. Junie's clearly in pain, being forced to recall the bombing like this. She can't even get her words out. This isn't going to work. So what now? Hey, wait a minute. Even if she can't vocalize what she wants to say, we can listen to what's inside her heart. Yes, now's the perfect time to use Adina's power. You can hear it, can't you, Adina? The cries of Miss Wood's heart? Yes, and they sound incredibly strained. She's so scared. I think she could collapse at any second. Adina has a unique ability, you see. With her finely tuned sense of hearing, she can hear the words of a witness's heart. In essence, she can sense how a person is really feeling from the tone of their voice. Guess it's all up to Adina and her special ability now. I love that they introduce a new concept of cross-examining folks every game. But I ain't forget how we learned in the last game that Apollo is related to Trucy. I ain't forget that. That's been living rent-free in my brain. And I need to know the conclusion of that family ties right there. And their mother getting her memories back. No. Can we go back to that last game? Adina, I want you to use the analytical psychology you studied and listen to the testimony in Miss Wood's heart. Okay, boss. I'll give it a go. After all, this is the whole reason I put all that effort into studying analytical psychology. Yeah, I can't read German. Let's do this. What year is this that we have a screen in front of us like this? Holographic screen? So your holographic Digmabob can show us how Miss Woods is feeling, right? In a nutshell, yes. The emotions and images that I picked up on just now while listening to her testimony, I can enter all of that into the widget and use the mood matrix to analyze them. Oh, this is fancy. These mood makers here reflect fluctuations in Junie's emotions. When she feels happy or is enjoying the memory, the happy marker will light up. When she feels angry or frustrated, the angry marker will react. When she feels sadness or is frightened by a memory, the sad marker will blink. And when she feels surprised or confused, the surprise marker will let us know. So with your special ability in Widget's Mood Matrix program, we can track how Miss Woods is feeling as she testifies. Talk about the wonders of technology. Yep, now let's give it a shot. I'm picking up on some kind of discord or noise in Junie's heart. See here? This is what the noise looks like in the Mood Matrix. It's a result of inconsistencies between her testimony and her feelings. If we can pinpoint these inconsistencies, the noise level should drop. Okay, it's time to listen to Miss Wood's true testimony. Well, that day, did any of them blink? It's around 2028. I was watching from the gallery. The bomb went off. All right, she's surprised. And rubble started falling. It fell on top of me. Alright? You can't be happy and confused at the same time. I mean, you can. I think I have a good grasp on Junie's emotional state now. This power of Athena is incredible. And I'm seeing an unexpected emotion that's inconsistent with the content of her testimony. What? Already? Look at this. When she says it fell on top of me, the happy marker is reacting. Nah, that's just what she's into. Well, look at that. That is odd. There must be a reason for this contradictory emotion. We just need to do some digging. When you find an unexpected emotion, you first need to pinpoint L1 it. Like weighted blankets, but this is concrete. You know, yeah. And then select the unexpected emotion or reaction from the 4 mood markers of X. Okay.
Got it.
Widget is registering joy when Miss Woods recalls the rubble falling on her. There must be a reason for this unexpected emotion. Miss Woods, as the rubble was falling, was there also something that made you feel happy? What? Mr. Wright, the feeling of happiness is spreading throughout Junie's heart. Maybe she's suicidal. Keep going on this point, and I bet Junie will start to calm down. Great, let's hear what she has to say. Just as I was about to escape the courtroom, the bomb went off. I was so startled, I tripped. And then rubble started falling on top of me. I really thought I was done for. But just then, oh my god, Apollo came and rescued me. She loves Apollo. Apollo? He used his own body to shield me from the rubble. It is cute. So that's when he sustained those injuries. How do you feel, Junie? Did talking about Apollo give you some courage? Yes, Apollo is just like the sun, strong and bright and warm. Just talking about him makes me feel like a leaf undergoing photosynthesis. And see, your coughing stopped all of a sudden. Oh, you're right. Thank you, Dina. Looks like we were able to draw out some of the new testimony. Pretty neat, huh? But there's still some noise left, meaning there must still be some discord in Junie's heart. I guess we'll have to keep going then. Let me input this new information to update the moon matrix and we'll be good to go. You remember what to do, right? When I find an unexpected emotion, I should first pinpoint it. That's right. And then you select it from the mood markers of X. If we find the reason for the discord in her heart, then we should be able to draw even more new testimony out. Okay. I tried to run, but I was too slow. Before I could get away, the bomb went off. I was startled, I tripped, and then rubble started falling on me. I thought I was done for. But then Apollo came and rescued me. I could sense some discord in Junie's heart when I listened to her voice. There must be an unexpected emotion here somewhere. Probably because Apollo got hurt. When you find an unexpected emotion, you'll first need to pinpoint it. And then select the unexpected emotion from the form. Yeah, I know. Okay. Okay, so happy, surprise, and what did sad mean again? Was it sad? Well, probably sad because Apollo got hurt though.
Got it.
You were happy when Mr. Justice rescued you, weren't you? Yes, I was really happy.
But was there also something you felt sad about at the same time?
Sad?
The reason I ask is, when you were describing how you're rescued, we sensed a little sadness too.
Oh, I think it's probably because of Bum Rap Riney.
What? Bum Rap Riney? What do you know? Something new.
That's right. I brought my stuffed animal, Bum Rap Riney, to watch the trial with me. Bum Rap Riney and Phony Fancy are brothers.
Who knew that the legal world could inspire a whole line of merchandise?
I had Bum Rap Riney with me while I was watching the trial. But it wasn't until Apollo saved me that I realized that I lost him as I was running away. My poor Riney, a victim of that terrible bomb. Oh, I know. You can see what he looks like in this poster.
Oh, no more bum raps. I'm screaming.
It's for the campaign to eradicate fake evidence and false charges.
Phony Fancy and Bum Rap Riney, huh? Nothing against the campaign, but why an elephant and a rhinoceros?
Mr. Wright,
I don't sense any discord in Junie's heart anymore. I wasn't even... Oh, let me see. I wasn't even looking at that. Oh, they didn't give it to us. Oh. Apollo Justice is now 23. A young lawyer at my agency. He was injured in the courtroom bombing. Jennifer Woods, 18. Our client in this case, a kind-hearted girl who loves nature. She apparently lives in a forest. Candace Arm, the victim in this case, a detective who was heading up the investigation into a bombing incident. Adina Sykes, a young rookie lawyer at our agency. She also our client's friend. So this girl went through law school and is now a baby lawyer at 18. That's impressive. And she's still in high school. Gaspin Payne, the prosecuting attorney, the younger brother of another prosecutor I know. This one lacks presence too. Ted Tenate, sorry. 42, a police bomb specialist. He was in charge of handling the bomb that exploded in the courtroom. So I guess that means we managed to draw out all of her testimony.
That's right. I'll just make an update with the new info and we'll have the whole picture.
Yeah, a lot of family relations in this Ace Attorney series.
So do you think her new testimony will help?
Absolutely. I don't know what I would have done without you, Adina. The Bum Rap Riney was in the courtroom the bomb went off. Now that we know that, it changes the meaning of that other piece of evidence. All I have to do is present it as the right statement. I was watching from the gallery with Bum. Oh, I can't even press. Okay, tried to run, but it was too slow. Before I can get off the courtroom, the bomb went off. I was so startled I tripped and rubble started falling. I thought I was done for. But then Apollo came and rescued me. Oh, okay. What? I'm pressing this, I'm assuming. Piece of stuffed animal that the bomb was inserted into. The defendant's fingerprints were found on it. Because this one has the tail on it. This one doesn't have the tail on it. Okay. You know, I see it now, looking at the rhino. It does look a bit like Phoenix. I know that I wish they showed us the poster, because the elephant was like at the top where the judge was or whatever. But he doesn't look like our judge. I guess I'm gonna present the tail on this one. This is the only one about the Bum Rap Riney.
Objection!
Miss Woods, I know this trial has been very hard for you, but you can relax now. You are without a doubt innocent. Mr. Wright, what wild assertion are you making now? My wild assertion is simply this. The two stuffed animals were mixed up.
The tail that the defendant's fingerprints were found on wasn't that of phony fancy. It was the tail of her gallery companion, Bumrap Riney.
Objection!
What? What nonsense is that? I can see that they're both stuffed animals, yes, but they're completely different characters. An elephant and a rhino. They're as distinct as a defense lawyer and a prosecutor.
But are they really so different? Both defense lawyers and prosecutors strive to protect the peace through law. Even elephants and rhinos have some similar characteristics. They're both gray, for example. Anyway, this poster is all I need to prove my assertion to be true. If I may direct the court's attention here, you'll clearly see how the two got mixed up. Right here.
Take that!
Well, would you look at that? The two tails are exactly the same. Yes, exactly. The two stuffed animals are based on entirely different animals. But the design of their tails is exactly the same. Not the hair flipping backwards. Oh god, it looks even bad over there. Order in the court. As long as the possibility exists that the tail belongs to Bumrap Riney, we can no longer consider it to be decisive proof that the defendant handled the bomb. As things stand, I consider the charges against the accused unsubstantiated. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Payne?
Oh, yes, of course. Your Honor?
Ooh, that was great, Mr. Wright. You turned things right around. Yeah, it's not over yet, but at least we managed to hold out this long. I believe that brings our proceedings for today to a close. Mr. Payne, I'm afraid you have some serious investigating ahead of you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Very well. Let us reconvene tomorrow. Court is adjourned. Usually, we would finish the case for episode 1, like at the end of the first trial. And that's it, because episode 1 is usually the tutorial. So I'm surprised that we're still continuing. December 17th, 11:56 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 5. That was so exciting, boss.
True to form, you managed to just barely pull it off at the very last moment.
True to form? Gee, I never knew you had such a glowing opinion of me.
Thank you for everything you're doing.
You did great, Miss Woods. You really stuck it out.
And you got really brave at the end, just when we needed you most, Junie. Thanks to you, we were able to turn things around. Well, you were the one who gave me that courage, Nina.
It's almost Christmas. It is. What was the 17th, they said? Yeah.
Really? Thanks. So, be honest, was I any help at all?
Of course. Without you, we would have never gotten out of that tight spot. That is a weird face. It's the mouth.
That's good to hear. I may still have a lot to learn, but you can bet I'm going to give it my all. I'll be so good that one day you'll call me your partner.
That's what I like to hear. Analytical psychology. The ability to solve the riddles of a person's heart. Adina's true potential is beginning to really shine through now. Hey, where's Apollo anyway? Good question. I almost forgot about him. Dang. I assume he'd still be here in the lobby.
Oh, I know. Maybe he's still in courtroom number 4?
Courtroom number 4? What would he be doing at the scene of the explosion?
When I came out to the lobby to rest, I told Apollo about Bumrap Riney. I told him I dropped Riney in the courtroom as I was trying to escape before the blast. And then Apollo said he had an idea where Riney might be, so we went to take a look together.
Huh. I guess Apollo could be pretty nice when he wants to be. So you went looking for Riney together before you were called back into courtroom number 5?
Yes. I had some time to rest, so I was able to go and look for him. But then they called me into courtroom number 5 to testify. Apollo insisted on staying there, though.
With all those injuries, I wonder how he's managing.
think Apollo might have figured something out.
Huh. Wonder what it was.
He told me I'm going to look for evidence to clear your name, Juniper.
Just maybe he found some piece of evidence? Anyway, we better get going. Better go and get him. Good idea. December 17th, 12:11 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 4. It's 12:11, and our conversation just now started at 11:56. We was talking for a hot minute.
Where are you, Apollo? Trial's over for today. Come on, I know you're... No.
Bruh, no one told him to go, like, searching for evidence while injured. Wait, did someone hit him on the back of the head with a rock? It was definitely Tetanate, because he left the room when what's her face came in. So they definitely swapped spots. He was like, hey, I'm gonna go to courtroom number 4 and I'm gonna end this right now. Save the game though. Poor Apollo though. December 18th. 9 for AM, District Court, defendant lobby number 5. This isn't exactly how I envisioned the second day of this trial to start. But given how things ended yesterday... Good morning. The mood sure is tense. Not that's any surprising. Not that that's any surprising. Oh, hey, did you read the paper this morning, boss? Huh? The paper? That came out of left field. You didn't read it? Then you don't know the big news. Somebody spotted an abominable snowman way up in the mountains. Tell me you know the difference between a paper and a tabloid, Adina. It might show up in the forest where you live, Junie. So you better watch out. Okay? You really should read the story for yourself. I couldn't even begin to do it justice. Justice? Huh? Oh, poor Apollo. And it's all my fault. Dina! Oh, Junie, what was I thinking? I'm so sorry. What we found yesterday was not Apollo's dead body, thank goodness. He'd been assaulted by someone with a blow to his head and was lying unconscious. We rushed him to the hospital right away, and it looks like he's going to pull through. But it was still quite a shock to stumble onto a scene like that. I think Apollo was looking for the rhino to prove that, you know, or I don't know. He might have been looking for the stuffed animal, and I think Tetane walked into that courtroom and busted his head on the back of the head with that rock right there. Is Miss Woods alright, Adina? Well, I managed to get her to stop crying. Now she's resting on the sofa over there. I guess she really feels responsible for what happened to Apollo. Poor Junie. She believes that the reason Apollo was attacked is because he was helping her look for something in the courtroom. Oh? Guess I can see why she'd think that. By the way, how are you doing? Who, me? Yeah, you. I know you're concerned about Miss Woods, but are you alright? Me? I'm doing just fine, boss. I mean, yeah, it was a huge shock, but I'm alright. People who study analytical psychology are great at times like this. After all, they've learned how to control their own emotions too. Somehow, I don't think it's as easy as she makes it sound. But there's no denying she's a real trooper. Apollo doesn't remember a thing, does he? Yeah, he can't recall from anything from the time right before he was assaulted. Nothing about what he was doing in the courtroom number 4 or who assaulted him. Dang. The doctor said it's probably due to the hit he took to the head. Assaulted in a court of law and losing your memory at that. I know how that feels. But who in the world would do such a thing, huh, Mr. Wright? Just wait till I get my hands on that coward who hurt our Apollo. Now, Athena. I thought you said you were in control of your emotions. Let's just focus on helping Miss Woods, okay? But admit I'm just as upset as you. Okay, boss. You're right. Apollo's assailant can wait until after we clear Junie's name. That's the spirit. Now, let's see. I better check the court record one more time before the trial starts. Oh, okay. It's my all-important badge, proof of my profession. Cause of death, trauma to the back of the head, caused by impact with a flat object. Interesting how Detective Arm died the same way Apollo got assaulted as. Because I don't think that the detective died from the explosion, like rubble falling from the explosion. I think someone knocked her upside her head too and killed her. And whoever did that did the same to Apollo, hoping that Apollo die. Assaulted during the trial yesterday. Thankfully he's going to be okay, but he's still at the hospital undergoing treatment. Earth to Mr. Wright. I'm ready whenever you are. Alright, let's get ready to rumble. You bet. With everything that happened with Apollo, I didn't have time for a proper investigation. I can't let that stop me, though. I have to get this right for Miss Wood's sake and Apollo's, too. December 18th, 9:50 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 5. Day 2, court is now in session. All rise. Court will now reconvene for the trial of Juniper Woods. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is also ready, Your Honor. Now then, I believe I instructed the prosecution to further their investigation. Were you able to locate the remote switch in question? I'm afraid the remote switch is still missing, Your Honor. Oh, you know what? I bet you the remote switch was left in the courtroom, and that's what Apollo found before Tetanate knocked him upside his head. I must say I'm disappointed, Mr. Payne. Not angry, just disappointed. I apologize, Your Honor. Aha. Looks like the prosecution is just as unprepared as I am. There is a separate matter, however, that I would like to bring up during this trial. A separate matter, you say? And what might that be? I assume you're aware that another incident occurred during yesterday's trial. I'm speaking, of course, of the assault on Mr. Justice in the rooms of courtroom number 4. Uh-oh. Why is he bringing that up? Yes, what a truly harrowing experience it must have been. Poor Mr. Justice. At the time of the attack, Mr. Justice was not alone. He was with the defendant, Miss Juniper Woods. He isn't going where I think he's going with this, is he? The prosecution wishes to indict Miss Woods on the charge of Mr. Justice's assault. Oh my god. Order! Order in the court! Mr. Payne, the incident under deliberation here is a courtroom bombing. Hold on for a second, y'all.
Okay? Starting to get hungry, so I have a little snack on the side for myself right now.
The assault on Mr. Justice has nothing to do with this trial.
Ah, but I believe there is a connection between this case and Mr. Justice's assault. Please take a moment to consider these facts. Both events occurred in courtroom number 4. This is the location in courtroom number 4 where the unconscious Mr. Justice was discovered. As you can see, it's quite close to where Detective Arm's body was found.
Quite close. That's literally on the opposite side. A diagram of the courtroom as it was when Apollo was discovered after the assault, not the body outline on the map for him.
The question is, why did the culprit feel the need to maliciously attack Mr. Justice?
Got him laid out. Why indeed? What do you believe their motive to be, Mr. Payne?
I believe Mr. Justice found something in the courtroom while Miss Woods was with him. Evidence that fingered her as the perpetrator of the bombing.
You mean he found some incriminating evidence?
Precisely, and so I surmise that the defendant picked up a piece of rubble and hit Mr. Justice on the back of the head in order to silence him.
Objection!
Junie would never do such a thing. She was devastated when we found Apollo hurt like that. Miss Sykes, please control your outbursts.
It is the prosecution's belief that by deliberating on Mr. Justice's assault, we will draw ever closer to the truth of the courtroom bombing itself.
Very well. Miss Woods is hereby officially indicted on the charge of assaulting Mr. Justice. Oh my god. What? Why are you listening to Mr. Toupee over there? Although, considering our conversation yesterday,
I think Apollo might have figured something out.
wonder what it was.
He told me I'm going to look for evidence to clear your name, Jennifer.
Maybe the two incidents really are related after all.
I would like to start by hearing from the defendant herself.
Very well. Bailiff, please bring Miss Woods to the witness stand.
I'm sorry. I can't seem to stop.
Miss Woods. Guess she's still really upset about Apollo.
Miss Woods, you went to the ruins of courtroom number 4 with Mr. Justice, did you not? Yes, I did. Good, good. If you would then, please testify about what happened to the court.
Alone with Apollo.
During the trial yesterday, I was overcome by a fit of coughing. Apollo stayed with me and we went to the courtroom ruins together. But then I was called back to the courtroom to give the testimony. Apollo insisted on staying behind in courtroom number 4. I swear I didn't attack Apollo. Why would I ever hurt such a kind person?
So, Mr. Justice stayed by your side while you were feeling unwell. What an admirable young man. I thought his loud voice was his only outstanding future. He may look like a little imp at times, but Apollo can be really nice too. Oh my god, that's 2 back-to-back insults. I hope she didn't hurt his wrist backhanding that one out. Hurt her wrist backhanding that one out. But one has to wonder, why did Mr. Justice stay behind in the ruins?
I think Apollo might have figured something out.
Something? What kind of something?
Something to do with the courtroom bombing kind of something, I think.
Oh, new evidence for the case, was it? That's a very big kind of something indeed.
I believe so. He mentioned looking for some evidence when I was called away.
Objection!
Just as I thought, there is a connection between the 2 incidents. But the defendant has told a very big lie, Your Honor.
What lie is that?
When she learned Mr. Justice would be looking for evidence, she attacked him.
Hold on, y'all.
Okay, I'm back. She attacked him to give herself the chance to destroy that evidence.
No, I never.
Objection!
Miss Woods repaid Mr. Justice's kindness with violence. We found the proof of her foul deed there in the courtroom ruins.
Not the word Woods written above him. What on earth?
Do you see it? There in front of Mr. Justice's right hand. Witness the message he left us.
That wasn't in the picture we saw. No, it wasn't. It's written in blood. W-O-O-D-S? Why isn't that?
That's right, Your Honor. It says Woods in capital letters.
What? See, the rock clearly hit him in the head. How can you do that after being knocked out? No, really. Plus, he has no memory. Like that one case with the fedora guy all over again? Mm-hmm. There's actually another case. What is it? The very second case in the second Phoenix Wright game. When we discover Maya's older sister Mia's dead body, on a handwritten note was Maya's name on it, and that was proven to be false. False because homegirl was already dead, and they made they written her name there to accuse the younger sister.
I submit that Mr. Justice left us with the name of his attacker before he fainted.
Apollo is shown collapsed on the floor. The bloody writing is also visible.
No, that can't be true. Why would Apollo write my name?
Mr. Wright, the nerve of him leaving that message. Why would he do this? Y'all are so quick to not believe our boy here. Apollo wouldn't do that on purpose. There has to be another reason if he actually wrote that. Also, whose jacket is this? Hey, don't take it out on me. I don't understand it any more than you do. When we discovered Apollo yesterday, it wasn't there. Apollo. No. Ah. We didn't even have a chance to rush over to him. Oh. As soon as security heard Athena scream, they ran in and cordoned off the area. After that, they were in the courtroom number 4 of Apollo the whole time. We couldn't investigate anything ourselves and had to leave everything to the police. Still, I never thought they would find some bloody writing there. Now then, please begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Alone with Apollo. During the trial yesterday, I was overcome by a fit of coughing.
Hold it!
Do you always cough when you get nervous, Miss Woods?
Yes.
Mr. Wright, please do not make Woods nervous by presenting her so ruthlessly. But that barely even qualified as a quasi-question.
Let's help her relax a little with small talk before we dive into the cross-examination. You know, ask her about her hobbies and her crushes and stuff.
Her crushes? Really? I don't know about this.
Apollo stayed with me and we went to the courtroom ruins together.
Hold it!
Why exactly did you go to the courtroom ruins?
We went to look for my medicine to stop my coughing.
Oh, really? Your medicine? Why would your medicine be in courtroom number 4?
I dropped it in the heat of the moment. Bumrat Wright, he was keeping my medicine safe for me. He has a little compartment that I can put in things in, you see.
And Funny Fancy has the same type of pocket. That's where the bomb was inserted.
I had put my medicine for my coughing fits inside Bumrat Wright. But when I told Apollo about it, he said he helped me go look for him. There was so much rubble in there. I was worried, but there was no rubble or anything in front of the witness stand.
Yeah, convenient, huh?
So when we got inside, Apollo went straight there and started looking for Mr. Wright in that area. It was so nice of him to do that for me, in spite of all his injuries. Apollo is so strong and kind, just like the trees of the forest.
The way she makes him sound, you think Apollo was some kind of ancient god. Oh, wait. So that's why you went to the ruins. I see. That seems to be quite an important fact. Please add it to your testimony, Miss Woods.
Apollo started looking for Bumrat Wright near the witness stand where there was no rubble.
Hold it!
The area around the witness stand? Are you sure about that?
I'm sorry. Did I say something wrong?
No, of course not. I was just testing my hearing. Must not upset her.
Yes, I'm sure that's where we searched first.
What was the case from 2 days ago when the bomb went off? Like, what was that case? Who was the defendant then? Then I was called back to this courtroom to give testimony.
Hold it!
That was when you were called to stand after Mr. Tenate's testimony, right?
Yes. The bailiff came to courtroom number 4 and brought me back to this courtroom.
So if the bailiff came to courtroom number 4 to bring her to courtroom number 5, then he should have saw Apollo in the room perfectly fine. And what about Mr. Justice? Did he come with you or did he stay behind?
Apollo insisted on staying behind in courtroom number 4.
Hold it!
I better not ask her about Apollo. I know, I'll use some small talk here to get her to relax a bit. Do you have any hobbies, Miss Woods?
Hobbies? Oh, well, I love growing vegetables in my garden. And I love to knit. I like sewing too. I made this outfit myself.
Keep it up, Mr. Wright. It's working. Ask her if she has a crush on anyone. So, is there anyone in particular you like right now?
Objection!
Mr. Wright, is that question even remotely related to this case?
To this case? Not really. Mr. Wright, you refrained from asking questions unrelated to the case at hand. Sorry, Your Honor. -1 to brownie points.
Miss Woods, please continue for testimony. I believe you're telling the court about your attack on Mr. Justice.
I swear I didn't attack Apollo. Why would I ever hurt such a kind person?
Hold it!
So, you think Mr. Justice is kind?
Yes, very kind. He rescued me. He's like the sun, strong and warm. He makes me feel strong, too.
The only adjectives I associate with the sun are sweltering and impressive. Haha, me too. You know, our supreme furry overlord, Lily, keeps walking in and out of this room. He keeps yelling at me. What do you think she wants, chat?
But then Apollo got hurt, and it's all my fault. Junie, Apollo's going to be fine. He's just like the sun, right? Well, the sun doesn't just drop out of the sky. You really think he'll be fine? But the sun does go down at night. Then that means Apollo could...
Mr. Payne, I do not think much of men who make young ladies cry.
So Apollo was trying to help Jennifer. Who knew that Apollo could be such a sweetheart?
It must have been pretty hard on him too with all that rubble everywhere.
Now that I think about it,
There's something odd about what Apollo is able to do.
you know, considering what Miss Woods said just now, I think you're right.
That courtroom was in a very unusual state after all. Which leads to the million-dollar question, what would explain this contradiction? Anyway, let's see what happens when I present what I suspect is our answer. Alright. Let's see. They're right about that. The the words woods is written up there. That's so funny. The area where the defendant would stand is definitely clear of any rubble. So during the trial yesterday, I overcame my fit of coughing. Paulo continued me, and we went to the courtroom ruins together. I started looking for a bum rap writing near the witness stand where there was no rubble. But then I was called back to the courtroom to give testimony. Paul insisted on staying behind courtroom number 4. I swear I didn't attack Apollo. Oh, why would I ever hurt such a kind person? Yeah. So I would say I should probably press the picture. Hello, Sally the Cat. Welcome to the stream. How you doing today? Paul stayed with me and we went to the courtrooms together. This one. You doing good? That's good to hear. The game is Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Dual Destinies. Visual novel game surrounding lawyers and prosecutors and mysterious mysteries.
Objection!
So he started his search with the witness stand, you say?
That's right. I guess maybe he wanted to start from the furthest point in the room. He was being so brave.
And strong. But that's odd. His body's not by the front though. Under the circumstances, he shouldn't have been capable of that.
But he was, and he still is. He might not look into it, but he really is brave and kind too.
Not the part I'm finding fault with. Someone has a crush on Apollo. What you are claiming is something that no one should have been able to do. But I should think that anyone could be brave and kind if they wanted to be, Mr. Wright. Please, no, Judge. True, anyone can be brave and kind, but if you would please take a look at this diagram. What happened? One of the main characters was knocked upside his head, unconscious, and we're trying to figure out what happened. With the courtroom in this state, how was it possible to walk up to the witness stand?
Oh.
I see your point. The rubble blocks off access to the area around the witness stand. Kind of, yeah, I guess.
Does such a tiny inconsistency even matter? Perhaps the witness is simply misremembering it.
Great. Now, I'm not so sure it matters.
A real man doesn't make mountains out of molehills, you know.
But that's precisely what Mr. Wright does best. I call slander, Your Honor. So was it really impossible to approach the witness stand? I have to say, it's a bit hard to tell with any accuracy from just this diagram. Mr. Payne, do you have any other photos of the crime scene?
Let me see, Your Honor. Ah, yes, I have one more.
Okay, interesting that the, what's his name? This thing? The bomb transport case is right next to the witness stand. Also, by the way, if Apollo had actually written Junie's last name on the floor there, do you see next to the S that something else was written? It's cut off. Junifer's last name is just Woods. So why would there be another letter there? And then also, wouldn't there be a trail of blood crawling from, like, smeared from the words to where his fingers is? Your eyes went right to it? Yep. Definitely. Something seems up.
Here it is, a more pulled back version of the photo I presented before.
Apollo is shown collapsed on the floor. The bloody writing is also visible. Huh? What's that hunk of metal on the wheels? Hold on, I want to look at this. Wonder what the words could be saying. Woods what? Woods... Mr. Payne, is the metallic object in the photo Mr. Tenate's bomb transport case?
That's right. Is there some problem?
Oh, yes, that transport case was there in the courtroom number 4 when the bomb went off. But didn't Mr. Tenate say that he left his transport case with the detonation button in the lobby? It must have been there ever since.
Oh, that's it.
Miss Woods, have you remembered something?
Yes, I just realized. Its position. It's different from before.
Its position? The position of what?
The position of that big metal thing.
The bomb transport case?
Yes. When Apollo and I went there, it was in a different place. Where the case is in the photo was open space, so it was easy to search the stand.
Huh. I see. So where was the transport case when you and Mr. Justice saw it?
As I recall, I think it was more to the right.
Wait, where the words are smeared? To the right? Then that means... in that case, the case was over there at the time of Apollo's attack.
Who cares where the transport case was? When? What difference does it make?
That means that evidence was tampered with, Payne. Everything in that room is evidence until proven otherwise.
Objection!
I didn't even get a chance to read that. He said,
It has nothing to do at all. It has nothing at all to do with what we were talking about.
where the transfer case was has everything to do with this discussion. In fact, it's so important that it's enough to turn the prosecution's argument on its ear.
What?
Well, that certainly sounds very relevant indeed. And you sound as though you know where that case was at the time of the attack. Yes, Your Honor, this diagram represents a crime scene as shown in the photo. And this is where the transfer case was at the time of the assault on Mr. Justice. Alright, I have this. The bomb transfer case was here at the time of Apollo's attack. Probably where the words Woods was. You know, they're real funny with this. Let me get exactly on the word.
Take that!
Your Honor, I assert that this is where the transport case was at the time of the assault. But that's...
Inconceivable!
Miss Woods, was this where the transport case was when you saw it?
Yes. Yes, that's where it was.
Thank you, Miss Woods. I'm sure the court has noted an interesting fact about this position. The transport case covers up the writing in blood. Exactly. If the transport case was in that position at the time of the assault, then no message could have been written there because the case was in the way. Which leads us to conclude that Mr. Justice couldn't have left that bloody writing.
Objection!
Why should we believe the defendant's claim that the case was in a different position? She's obviously lying.
Objection!
The fact that the case was moved after the assault on Mr. Justice is proved by more than Ms. Wood's testimony alone.
What? Where is this proof you're talking about?
It's right here in the crime photo. I'm keen to see this proof myself, Mr. Wright. When this photo indicates that the transport, oh, you can see the tracks moved after the assault. I don't know. Do I just the tracks? All the proof you'll need, Your Honor, is right here. No, okay. Is there what specific spot do I need to click on then?
I'm sensing feelings of doubt from you. Which means you're just taking a wild stab in the dark, aren't you?
No, I'm pretty sure. Ouch, you're good. I bet you can also tell how I'm about to feel in a few seconds, too. Dang. You just earned yourself a penalty. If the transfer case was moved after the assault, there should be some evidence that yeah, the tracks left on the ground. Okay. I don't know. There's... If the tracks next to the wheels don't count, then maybe the tracks on his bandage. I'll tell you, they're real finicky with where exactly. Let's see. Yeah, oh my god. I was like 2 frames to the left of that. Please take a look at the mark that runs over Mr. Justice's bandages here. I see, but what is it? This mark was made by one of the casters from the transport case carrying the bomb. As the bomb was moved, it ran over his bandages. In other words, the transport case was originally to the right of Mr. Justice. Then after Mr. Justice was assaulted, the transport case was moved.
What?
Just as Mr. Woods said, the case was covering the writing at the time of the insult. Therefore, it was impossible for Justice to have left that message in blood.
No!
You did it, boss. That was a real nail-biter, but you pulled it off. Yep. That should bring down the prosecution's claim like a house of cards. Order in the court. Mr. Wright, that was a very clever deduction. Oh, it was nothing, Your Honor. Nothing but pure genius. Take that. Boss, I'm sensing a definite smug and braggy vibe coming off of you. Mind your business. Ugh. I have just one question, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor? If Mr. Justice didn't leave this message in blood, then who did? Huh? What? Oh. Well, looks like I should have taken that train of thought through to the last station.
Well, I've heard a lot about this. So this is Mr. Wright's famous bluffing technique, isn't it?
Oh, this feeling, it brings back memories of the old days. Back when you carved out a name for yourself by bluffing your way through thick and thin.
Gee, Mr. Wright, the judge kind of makes you sound no better than a 2-bit con man. You make your argument with such confidence, Mr. Wright. Now I'd like to hear your answer with just as much confidence.
Hey,
Until the judge asked the question, you didn't catch on either, Buster.
What now, boss? I hope you didn't bluff your way into a corner.
Think, Phoenix, think. There must be a way through this. I had to dig my way to the truth somehow. Who could have written that message in blood? The culprit, Apollo, someone else? Well, I think we kind of know who it is. I think it was, I mean, it's not Apollo. The culprit, but we don't know who the culprit is. The culprit would be, technically, would be Junie. So we can't say that. So it's someone else? If it wasn't Apollo, who could have left the bloody message? No. Well, not Apollo, and we know it's not Junie. The victim in this case is the detective was heading out to the investigation of the bombing incident, and then we got police bomb specialist. He was in charge of handling the bomb. Though we had no proof that he was there. I mean, he left the room, right? I'm gonna say.
Take that!
Oh, nope, the music didn't stop. This person left the bloody writing. And what do you base this claim on? Do I really need to base my claim on something? Boss? Of course you do. Don't tell me you don't have anything at all to back up your assertion. Nothing in particular, really. That won't do, Mr. Wright, but a penalty will make up for your deficiency, defiancy very nicely. So it wasn't Apollo or his attacker. When you think about it, who was at the crime? If it wasn't Apollo or his attacker, the only person else who was in that crime scene was the dead body. I'm confused about that one. Are you saying that bloody words were there before? Written by Candace Arm?
Take that!
To be honest, I don't actually have any real proof of this. But I've come this far. There's no turning back now. She died on the other side of the courtroom. According to her thing, where Apollo is, Homegirl was on the far left. So how... Huh. Besides Apollo, there was one person who shed blood at this crime scene. A person who shed blood? You don't mean? Oh, but I do. I believe it's Candace Arm who left behind this message in blood. What? So Candace was blaming Junie too? What? Detective Arm? Are you sure you know what you're doing here? Not really.
Objection!
What kind of ridiculous assertion is that? If you had said the attacker left a message to throw people off, it might have made sense.
At first glance, that... Really, Lily? Just busted this door wide open? She don't know what to do for herself right now. Get a little food in her stomach and she's just full of energy now. At first glance, that would seem to be the most reasonable explanation. However, Apollo didn't shed enough blood to write such an extensive message.
Uh-oh.
Ah, I see. Even the photo makes it clear there wasn't enough blood to write all those letters. And Mr. Drescher did survive, and I suppose he didn't bleed very extensively in that case.
But why would Detective Arm write the defendant's name? There is no connection between the two whatsoever. And I didn't even know who the lady was, lady who was killed. I admit the investigation didn't turn up any connection between the victim and the defendant. They had never even met each other.
That's very true. Well then, let's see. Then maybe the intended meaning of the message is not what it appears to be. Let's look at that real quick. What could the words have been? The intended meaning?
Not what it appears to be.
Maybe the message was not intended to be woods? Coming from you, that's quite the bold statement, Mr. Wright. You wish to assert that this bloody writing could have some other meaning? Yes, Your Honor.
For something I pulled out of a wormhole, it could turn out to be true, right?
Objection!
It clearly says woods, as anyone can plainly see. What other meaning could it possibly have?
Objection!
But Candace Arm was a detective. Maybe woods only means something to the police. Like a police scanner code, for example. I didn't think of that.
You may have tricked his honor, but you'll never get the best of me. I have a thing for sending you on the weekends, as you may have already guessed. And there's no such radio call as woods in this state, dear Mr. Wright.
Is that a fact?
Don't look at me. I know as much as you do about police codes.
Enough of this. I was quite taken with the defense's new theory. But if they can't substantiate it with anything, then I must end things here.
No, please wait, Your Honor.
Very well, but before we discuss this theory any further, I demand a plausible explanation. So, Mr. Wright, what is the true meaning of the bloody writing?
Well, I believe it's...
And no stalling. If you can't come with an answer quickly, I will declare this discussion officially over.
I'm in trouble now. What other meaning could it have besides the obvious one?
Maybe it means something in another language? Or maybe it's a code?
Think, Phoenix.
You could do this. Which piece of evidence will tell us what the word woods really mean?
Well, the only other word that we have here on our stuff is on the transport case itself. Oh! Wait. So L1001 5R. So far-fetched, but you could totally like connect the dots and make it the word woods instead. Half of the letter R I think was like smashed out the ground. So it looks like it was spelling woods. If you connect the L and the 1 together, you can get a W, and you have the 2 zeros for 2 O's. And then, you know, add a little swoop to make the 1 a D. I don't know, that's my only thought.
Take that!
The bomb transport case, and I was correct. I've about had it up to here of your shenanigans, Mr. Wright. Take a look at the numbers on this case, Your Honor. L10015R. Does this string look vaguely familiar? Oh, 100. What does that have to do with anything?
What could those numbers possibly have to do with the case at hand?
Now please take a look at the bloody writing shown in the crime photo.
Oh, I think I see it.
That a girl, and that's the one on my side. It says woods.
Or you could say it's a horse of a different color, Your Honor.
The first character isn't a W. It's actually L and a 1. The next two are zeros. Oh my goodness. The true meaning behind the bloody writing isn't Mr. Wood's name. It's the number engraved on the bomb transport case.
Objection!
What are you talking about? The next part doesn't make any sense. The number next to a 1, but the bloody writing says D.
Objection!
But the number on the case and the bloody writing can be made to match up easily. This is how the number on the transfer case can be made to match the bloody writing.
Erase one line, erase two lines, read it backwards. Hold on. D only has one line? That's well, I guess two lines if you get rid of the bottom part of W. You know what? Erase two lines and it would fit it, I guess. Get rid of the second part of D and then please erase the third downward stroke of the, yeah. Well, would you look at that? L-I-O-O-I-S. No, Your Honor. Isn't meant to be read as a word. It's the number L10015. Which if you take away the final R, it's the exact number that's on the bomb transport case. Erase two lines, then erase two lines and they match up, you say? Well, I could change anything into anything else simply by erasing two lines. What if you erase two lines from your name? Would you be as happy as Mr. Wright? Well, would you, Mr. Wright? The only right spelling is right. Okay, I'm doing pretty well here, and I think I've drawn the right conclusion. Detective Arm's real message to us is the bomb transport case number. I mean, how did... I'm guessing that's why Detective Arm was still in the courtroom. She found something out and tried to write a message, and then she got killed for writing that message, I'm guessing. Your Honor, the two lines were added by the real culprit to intentionally mislead people. What? The original message Detective Arm left behind was a transport case number. Whoever assaulted Apollo changed the message. If you're right, boss, then what do you suppose Detective Arm is trying to tell us? Good question. What does this number represent? Do you see this number here? That is my identification number. Candace Arm lost her life in the courtroom bombing. Her dying message can only have had one purpose. No. To tell us the name... Yawn. Tell us the name of the one responsible for the bombing. Thank you for the follow, much appreciated. Well, don't keep us in suspense, Mr. Wright. Tell us who she's trying to name. The culprit that the victim was trying to identify is none other than Ted Tenate.
Take that!
The defense wishes to indict Mr. Ted Tenate on the charge of the courtroom bombing. Ted Tenate. Apparently, disabling bombs isn't Tenate's only specialty. Somehow the victim must have realized that he was the bomber. So when she was caught in the blast, she left his bomb transport case number as her dying message. She used Tenate's own ID number to finger him for the crime.
Objection!
Why would anyone go out of their way to write an ID number? Wouldn't they simply write the person's name? He's got a good point there. What do you have to say to that, Mr. Wright? That only Detective Arm would know the answer to that, but allow me to offer a theory. Perhaps Detective Arm couldn't recall Mr. Tenate's name in the heat of the moment. As I recall, this was the first meeting between the two. It's entirely possible they wouldn't have been familiar with each other. Or maybe using ID number was a way to hide its true meaning from the real culprit, thus lowering the odds that they would erase the bloody writing. But no matter what the reason, the important thing is the meaning behind her message. The fact remains she wrote Mr. Tenate's ID number.
Objection!
Now just one moment here. There hasn't been any proof yet that it was indeed Detective Arm who wrote it.
The bloody writing wasn't found during the investigation after the blast. If the detective arm had left a message, it should have been found at that time.
Objection!
Naturally, Mr. Tanate hid it before anyone could discover it. And there's a simple explanation for how he was able to do so.
What?
Mr. Tanate was able to cover the message up because he's looking for details, the first to find the body wearing those weird goggles. It's definitely between weird goggles or the first to find the body. I'm gonna say he was just the first to find the body, though. The first person to discover the body, the bloody writing, was Mr. Tanate himself.
Oh yeah, because he said he was the first one in the room. I was the first one on the scene after the explosion. I went there to ensure safety, but I ended up discovering a dead body.
When Mr. Tanate saw that the victim had written his ID number, he used the bomb transport case to cover up the bloody writing as a stopgap measure. Oh, so that's why the message in blood was under the transport case. He didn't have enough time to try and scrub away the writing. If he didn't report the body right away, he would look suspicious. So those letters lived on to serve another function when Mr. Tanate used them in another incident. Oh, the assault on Mr. Justice. Exactly. Mr. Tanate hit upon a plan to use the bloody writing for his own purposes. So he didn't clean it away. Instead, he made it look like Mr. Justice wrote it by adding 2 lines to the writing that Detective Arm left behind. He changed the meaning of the message. He made it look like Mr. Justice was accusing Miss Woods of the attack.
So that means
the only person who could have altered the bloody writing was the courtroom bomber. He was the same person that assaulted Mr. Justice. And that person is Ted Tanate. Jesus. Order in the court. Order, I say. Looks like we will have to hear from the bomb specialist himself. Mr. Payne, please have Mr. Tanate take the witness stand.
Yes, Your Honor.
That was great, Mr. Wright. Just doing what I do best, which is flying by the seat of my pants. Dismantling the case is yours. Do you think you can handle it? I look forward to seeing you try. I finally draw Mr. Tanate back onto the witness stand. Looks like you'll get your wish, goggle man. Now watch me take your lies apart. Mr. Tanate, I'm afraid we have a few more questions for you. I understand the situation, Your Honor. I was keeping a close eye on the proceedings from the gallery. The allegations are all laughable.
Objection!
I wouldn't be laughing if I were you, Mr. Tanate. The message in blood matches your ID number. The same ID number that is on the bomb transport case. Such a far-fetched theory, no better than a tangled ball of wires. I'll have to untangle for you in no time at all. You were the first person on the scene after Detective Arm left her message in blood. You were the only one who could have hidden the writing and didn't use it again later. I see times 2. But then, let me ask you, do you have any proof that Detective Arm wrote that message? That's a very good question. Well, do you, Mr. Wright? The best way to prove that Detective Arm wrote that message is to analyze the DNA, check the blood. Your Honor, I request that a DNA test be performed on the blood itself. Once we know whose it is, it'll be obvious as to who wrote the message. Very well. Bailiff, please put in a request for a DNA test with the forensics team. Yes, Your Honor. It will be some time before we have the results of the analysis. Until then, let's hear more from the witness. I would like nothing more, Your Honor. I want the court to hear how ridiculous this defense's theory is.
after the explosion. I admit I was the first one on the scene after the explosion, but there was no bloody writing there at the time. Anyway, there is no way Detective Arm could have written it. She struck her head on a rubble and died near the courtroom entrance. She was too far away from where the bloody message was found. So you're saying that the victim's body was nowhere near where the writing was? Precisely. It is as plain as day that she could not have written it. It's true that the body was discovered near the entrance of the courtroom. Please have a look at this crime scene photo. Dang.
It's a lot of blood right there. Maybe she was pushed.
As you can see, there is blood on the rubble near the victim's body. She must have died after hitting her head there.
Crime scene photo of the aftermath of the courtroom number 4 bombing and the victim. I see. Alright, then, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
Do you have what it takes to take my infallible testimony apart?
After the explosion. I admit I was the first one on the scene after the explosion.
Hold it!
Why were you the first person on the scene?
To secure the area. It is regulation for bomb disposal specialists to enter first.
In other words, you had the opportunity to alter the bloody writing then, didn't you?
Well...
Objection!
Mr. Wright, please don't interrupt. Mr. Tani is about to give testimony that will show how wrong your reasoning is.
Darn. I think he was just about to say something interesting too.
When I went in and saw the aftermath, well, it was quite the disaster.
But there was no bloody writing there at the time.
Hold it!
You were able to tell this even with those goggles on? With these goggles, there is no way I could have missed something like that. I can see quite well with them. In fact, I can see every hair on your spiky head. Oh, you have a few grays, Mr. Wright. What? Poor Mr. Wright. You've always working so hard keeping our office together. Wait a minute. I don't have any gray hairs. Just kidding.
Objection!
I object to the witness's attempt to prematurely give me gray hair. Mr. Tanae, this court frowns upon untoward comments on a person's hair, or lack thereof. No one said anything about you, sir. I'm sensing a great wave of sorrow coming from the judge. My apologies, Your Honor. May I continue my testimony? Anyway, there's no way Detective Arm could have written it.
Hold it!
If she didn't write it, then who do you propose did? Mr. Justice, of course. Just before dying, he wrote the name of his attacker, Juniper Woods. Just before dying.
I found a message from your poor subordinate.
Poor Mr. Justice, I'm starting to get all misty-eyed. Apollo's not dead, folks.
So how can you be so sure it wasn't Detective Arm who wrote the message?
It is very simple. She had struck her head on rubble and died near the courtroom entrance. She was too far away from where the bloody message was found. The victim's body and the writing are several yards from each other. There's no way she could reach. Quite the conundrum. So that means something is off somewhere. There must be a contradiction. Maybe the body was moved? But that doesn't explain how blood got onto the rubble.
What if that was done by the real culprit after the fact? If that's the case, then something about that might contradict the evidence we have. Alright. Let's look at that picture real quick. I can't see it, but I wanted to know if her hand was bloody, but no. There's a lot of blood coming from the back of her head and on that rock there. Okay, so I admit I was the first one on the scene after the explosion, but there's no bloody writing there at the time. Anyway, there's no way Detective Arm could have written it. She had shook her head on the rubble and died near the courtroom entrance. She was too far away from where the bloody message was found. I mean, she got some blood on the front of her shirt too, though. Let's see. Wait. Trauma to the back of the head caused by impact of a flat object. A flat object. That's pointy. That's a corner piece. Ooh, I got you. I got you. Autopsy report.
Objection!
You are a terrible liar, Mr. Sinate. Take a look at this autopsy, specifically the part about Detective Arm's head injury. Cause of death, trauma to the back of head caused by impact with a flat object. Yes, what about it? Now take a good look at the bloody piece of rubble. It's sharp and pointed. Hey, you're right, boss. It is pointy. Just like your hair. That is odd, isn't it? What could be the meaning of this contradiction? I believe it means the victim did not hit her head on this piece of rubble. The blood stain you see is just another fabrication. Its purpose is to mislead us into thinking the victim died near the courtroom entrance. Are you claiming the culprit moved the victim's body? That's exactly what I'm claiming. The victim hit her head at some other location, most likely on the floor or some other flat surface. And this location was somewhere near where the bloody writing was found. In that case, she definitely could have written the message. Your Honor, I have the results of the bloodstain analysis. Uh-oh. Oh, very good timing. Let's take a look at it. According to the report, the message was written in Detective Arm's blood. Well, there we go. And as the defense claims, only the parts of the message that were added afterwards were written in Mr. Justice's blood. It would appear that the defense assertion is correct after all. A report that proves that the writing was done in Detective Arm's blood. Yes, you did it. You're right, boss. Grills in the court. What's up, Jay? DNA analysis definitely proves the blood of the writing to be of the victim, Candace Arm, age 27. However, the lines that were added later were found to be written in blood by Apollo Justice, age 23. Now I have to drive it home. I have to take a good look at the bloody writing analysis later.
Mr. Tanane, it is now apparent that you have told several lies in this court. I hope you have some sort of explanation for yourself. Fine, I will confess. You will? But then why are you so calm? This time, I will tell the truth. Alright, next testimony. The truth. It is true that Detective Arm wrote my ID number. She very plainly wrote L1001F15R. I was shocked, but I did not detonate the bomb. Detective Arm must have mistaken me for the real bomber. Not wanting to be accused, I moved the body and covered the writing. My bad. Okay. I see. So it is your assertion that you merely moved the body, is that it? That is correct. I did not kill Detective Arm. Oh, well, if that's all you did then. Wait a minute. That in and of itself is a criminal act. Glad to see you finally crossed that finish line, Your Honor. Very well then. Your cross-examination, please, Mr. Wright. It is true that Detective Arm wrote my ID number. So you meant that you actually did see the bloody writing that Detective Arm left? My bad. I should have said so from the outset. And you are sure it was your ID number? I am sure. It was definitely my ID number. A man is who be typing hateful comments under all videos. Yeah. That number was assigned exclusively to me by the police department. The number is assigned to my goggles as well. So those funky things are provided by the police department. Although these are special goggles customized by me personally.
Speaking of personalized, these sunglasses of mine were custom made as well. They were specially curated to be particularly dark and shiny.
Speaking of special, my gavel is made of mahogany and was custom made as well. It was specially created to make a particularly loud and resounding sound. I wish I had something to brag about. I just doxed you head. Be all that it may, I just want to reconfirm you saw the bloody writing clearly. And that it was your ID number? That is correct. My ID number was written in blood on the floor. She very plainly wrote L10015R. I was shocked. L10015R. And it was written after the bomb went off in the courtroom? Correct. I didn't know why she would write it, so that sent me into a panic. Sounds like you were in quite a tizzy. If I were in his shoes, I guess it would have psyched me out too. I can imagine coming across the message "Sykes" written in blood. If I saw gasping pain written in blood, I'd certainly make me gasp. Rest assured, Mr. Tanane, I understand how you must have felt. And so you discovered your ID number written in blood at the scene, and...
That is right. I saw it with my own eyes. It's very clearly said L10015R.
Smug look doesn't say it all. But I did not detonate the bomb. Didn't you? The victim may have had special knowledge of who the bomber was.
I have no idea what thoughts Detective Arm may have had inside her head.
It's not like I dismantled her mind to check.
Mr. Wright, if you have suspicions about the witness, let's see your proof. Evidence is everything in a court of law. Even school children know that. How many years have you been a defense attorney now?
Cut me some slack, will you?
Don't feel bad, boss. You just got your attorney's badge back after all. In that sense, you're still more of a beginner than I am.
Yeah, technically. Because V was not a lawyer for 7 years and is 1 year in between each game. So technically, Phoenix has only been a lawyer for like 3 years and some days.
Paying the opening case to get bodied. Alright. Ace Attorney never changed. Except, Jay, this is Payne's younger brother, Gaspin Payne. So this is his first time getting bodied. I suppose I should be thankful you're not a licensed psychologist. Mr. Tenane, please continue your testimony. Let me body the family line.
With pleasure. My ID number was left at the scene, but
Detective Arm must have mistaken me for the real bomber.
Hold it!
By mistaken, do you mean you had nothing to do with the explosion? That is correct. That is why I was so shocked when I saw my ID number.
the victim may have suspected Mr. Tenane for no reason other than the fact that, as the bomb specialist, he was in charge of the bomb. In other words, a false accusation. It's vocational discrimination, I say.
I do not support discrimination of any kind.
Well spoken, Your Honor. If the victim had been found to be killed with a gavel, Mr. Blue Suit over there probably would have pinned the crime on you.
He would. Well, that just wouldn't do. Mr. Wright, if you dare try to pin anything on me, I will find you in contempt of court. But I never even tried to harm a hair on, a strand of your beard, Your Honor.
Well said, Mr. Payne, because I am so closely associated with bombs. I was afraid I would be prosecuted if anyone saw the bloody writing.
Not wanting to be accused, I moved the body and covered the writing. My bad.
Hold it!
You didn't think to clean away the bloody writing?
I didn't have time. By the time I found the message, the blood was already dry. The police were waiting just outside for me to secure the room, and I still hadn't moved the body. I was in a panic. With no time to spare, I temporarily covered the writing with my case.
Didn't you think the police would find it during their investigation?
Regulation stipulates only specialists may touch transport cases. Because of the danger, you see. I thought I would clean up the writing once they were finished. My bad.
My bad?
Does he really think that will just magically smooth everything over?
This guy is something else. And I don't believe Detective Arm's dying message was just some mistake. He won't wiggle out of this easily. What did Mr. Tenate see when he first discovered the bloody writing? There has to be a contradiction hidden in his testimony somewhere. I think it has something to do with the fact that a piece of that rock is missing next to the ID number. Like, he could have just simply covered it, but no, there's something there that he felt the need to like take away. So let me see. ID number, and detective wrote ID number. She very plainly wrote. Nah. You can see pieces is missing. Something was there.
Objection!
And I was right. I just want to make doubly sure that L10015R is really what you saw written in blood. Yes, it is very clearly said L10015R. But that's odd, because that's not what I see.
Objection!
What on earth are you babbling on about now? Wasn't it you who claimed that the bloody writing was his ID number in the first place?
Take a good look at the photo in the bloody writing analysis. Now tell me, does it really say L10015R?
Oh.
Something is missing, isn't it? And that something is the final R. What is the meaning of this, Mr. Tenate?
Oh, right. Now I remember. There was no R on the end. It was just a slip of the finger, my bad.
something was after the last letter? Yep. Come back, my beautiful contradiction.
Mr. Wright, I'm not so sure it was just a simple slip of the finger.
You have something for me, Athena?
I sense that he's extremely agitated, almost panicked.
Must dox Wright ASAP before I lose it. He does look pretty flustered. Well, Mr. Wright, it appears it was nothing more than a mere mistake. I don't know. Did he really just make a typo? What about that R? Did Mr. Tenate really see it? He thought he saw an R? He actually saw it? Maybe Mr. Tenate really did see the R. But there's no R anywhere in the bloody writing. What's going on here? Huh? Now that I take another good look at the photo, I think maybe that's it. What is it now, Mr. Wright? Are you trying to imitate Apollo in his course of steel? I got it. So that's what happened. A slip of the finger. Is that really all it was? Because I don't think so. I propose that Mr. Tenate really did see the letter R. But the photo clearly shows that there is no R. No, Your Honor. Actually, just the opposite is true. The photo shows that Mr. Tenate actually could have seen the R. If you're going to make that claim, then you better be able to point out what you mean. What part of the photo shows that Mr. Tenate could have seen the R? The small bit right here.
Take that!
Please look here to the right of the 5. Do you see a little bit of red? Oh, I see. Just on the edge of where the floor is broken up. That's the R that Mr. Tenate saw.
Objection!
It's true that the witness wears very, very odd goggles. But that doesn't mean his eyesight is bad, nor his brain power.
What part of that little smudge looks like an R to you?
Objection!
Well, what Mr. Tenate saw wasn't that little smudge. There was a whole and complete R written there, before the floor was damaged by the explosion. Oh, well that explains it. Huh?
Care to explain what you mean? Because you just proposed that everything happened in the exact opposite order.
Yep, because that's the way it really went down. The timing of when the R was written turns everything about this case around. Now then, if the floor was damaged by the explosion, when was the message written? Before the explosion. With the bloody message running off the edge of the damaged floor like that. We can only conclude that it was written before the explosion.
That's ridiculous.
If that were true, it overturns your own premise. That's right. It does. In fact, it turns everything upside down. The victim was not killed by the explosion in the courtroom. She was killed before the explosion ever occurred. Huh? Order in the court.
What kind of preposterous claim is that?
Literal turnabout.
Have you forgotten that the victim's body was found at the scene of the explosion?
Objection!
True, but consider the scenario. She was hit on the head and killed before the explosion, or even before the trial began. Huh? Her body was subsequently placed in the courtroom ruins after the bombing occurred. Well, no, I get that. I'm just trying to figure out how she was killed before the explosion and no one noticed a dead body in the courtroom. That way it can be made to look like she was a victim of the blast. What? It sounds like we better look into what the victim was doing before the trial. While she was asleep? Maybe. She must have already been sitting down in the courtroom when they let people in. Mr. Payne, did anyone see Detective Arm before the trial?
Let's see. According to the police report, here it is. One person sold the victim before the trial. And that person was Destiny. Wait, what?
No one besides Mr. Tenate saw the victim.
That appears to be the case, Your Honor.
So she was in the courtroom. She realized what was about to happen, and she wrote his... Well, what happened? She didn't die from the explosion. She got busted upside her head. She quickly wrote the ID number, and then he moved the body to the other side of the courtroom, and then he pushed the case on top of it. And then closer to detonate. I would now ask the court to recall something. Specifically Mr. Tenate's words from yesterday.
It was when Detective Arm and I were transporting the bomb.
Oh my. Mr. Tenate, just before the trial, you were with the victim. The two of you were together at the scene of the crime, courtroom number 4. Your Honor, the defense requests new testimony from Mr. Tenate. We wish to hear what he say before his whereabouts just before the trial. Mr. Tenate, your testimony, please.
My testimony? There is no need for WHALJ86Y9PO4XQ asterisk and HBR97ZVE8 hashtag or pound symbol.
He's completely unnerved, Mr. Wright. You must have hit the nail on the head. I wanted to try at least once.
Because all I did was transport the bomb to the courtroom. I already told you. Yeah, series of letters. Blast his name. I was only in the courtroom with the victim because of our work. I swear I only transported the bomb there.
Objection!
You and the victim were alone together at the scene of the crime. In other words, you certainly had the opportunity to commit murder, did you not?
Objection!
Do you always leave yourself so open to attacks, Mr. Wright?
What now, Mr. Payne?
Yes, Mr. Tenate may have had the opportunity to kill the detective arm, but an important piece of your assertion is missing.
What important piece?
The murder weapon. What do you claim was used to kill the victim?
Mr. Payne has a point. Even if Mr. Tenate had the chance without a weapon, we can't accuse him of the crime. Was it the bomb itself? Is that why it was stuffed in a stuffed animal?
Well, Mr. Tenate?
Oh, yes, that's right. Oh my god. I didn't have any sort of thing that could be used as a murder weapon on me. I can't possibly have killed Detective Arm. Did he really have nothing he could use as a murder weapon? No, dangerous to shock yourself. What is it, Adina? Just looking over the victim's autopsy report, I'm hoping there's something in here that can point us in the right direction. What? Well, it does say that she died from trauma to the back of the head with a flat object. Yeah, and to inflict that specific kind of injury would have to be a really, really thick piece of alloy. All you would need is a flat surface, right? A heavy blunt object with a flat surface could definitely be our murder weapon. Oh, Mr. Wright, can you indicate for the court what was used to kill Detective Arm? I believe I can. Believe being the key word here. You can? Then please do so now. What did Mr. Tenate have that could have been used as the murder weapon? Oh, wait, could it have been this? Because they can't find this. Wait, no. Could it have been this? It's one of them. I think it's a bomb.
And that's why it was stuffed. Oh, it's cracked. It's cracked. Look at that. The timer, it's cracked. That thing cracked upside her head.
Take that!
Mr. Tennate, you say you didn't have anything that could be used as a weapon. But in fact, you had the perfect thing. What? What the devil are you talking about? You had this. That's the bomb. I thought you were trying to prove that the victim wasn't killed by the bomb blast. The bomb blast, no, but I believe Candace's arm was killed with this bomb. Because this is the blunt object that delivered the fatal blow to her head. Please recall the description: Detective Arm's head wound. Trauma to the back of the head. Trauma to the back of head caused by impact with a flat object. We assume this injury was sustained when her head hit the floor. But a blow from any flat surface of this bomb would produce the exact same wound pattern. I ha 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 ha. What's with him? Then show me some proof. Where's the evidence that I hit the victim with the bomb? He's right. I don't have anything decisive. Did you find any of the victim's blood on the bomb? That would be decisive proof. But too bad, the bomb is blown to bits. It's long gone. Boom. Game over. Yeah. Mr. Wright, is there really nothing on the bomb in the photo? The crack? Ugh, I don't see any blood or anything. Wait, the timer display is a little broken here. Maybe it's broken when it made contact with Detective Arm's head. That's definitely a distinct possibility. But unless we find a fragment with the victim's blood on it, it's not going to count. Guess you're right. By sending off the bomb, Tennate managed to obliterate all traces of the murder weapon. Where's Apollo? Apollo could have found it. What in the world do I do now? At times like this, I gotta change gears and look at things in a different way. Instead of looking for the things he wasn't able to hide, I should be looking for a way to expose the things he did hide. Tennate murdered Detective Arm before the trial started. Then he placed her body in the courtroom after the bomb went off. What? Then he placed her body in the courtroom after the bomb went off? Where was the body up to then? Inside of the bomb case? Which means there was something he needed to keep hidden until then. And I think I have just the thing. Time to present the photo that shows exactly what Mr. Tennate had to hide. The missing remote switch? It can't be that. It has to be the case. But there's nothing in this photo. Oh, well, time to present the photo that shows exactly what Tennate had to hide. He had to hide the body.
Take that!
Your Honor, there's something we've all been overlooking. If the murder took place before the trial, Mr. Tennate would have had to hide the body somewhere during the trial. Hey, you're right, and we can figure out where that hiding place was. Exactly. We might be able to find some evidence we can pin him down with. He'd hid her in the case. So where could Mr. Tennate have hidden the body during the trial? Thinking that's big enough to... Bye.
Take that!
Wait, a big box enough for a body. A box that was in the courtroom the whole time. A box nobody would have touched if they thought there was a bomb in it. Mr. Tennate, What is it? Do you finally have some decisive evidence to show me? No, you're the one who's going to show it to me. Come again. You heard me. Now show me what's inside that bomb transport case. What? Why? No, there's no need. I got him now. Just before the trial, you killed the victim with a blunt object. And then you placed her body in the ruins of the courtroom after the bomb went off. Clearly, we're trying to make it look like she died in the explosion. But where was the body hidden during the trial? Turn away like a Twister, right? Oh, I haven't thought of that. The answer is right here. Inside a box made of thick alloy plating that can withstand any impact. No, that's completely false. If it's false, you should have no objections to showing us your transfer case. So, let's open it up, take a look inside, shall we? Let's not. Not if you value your life. What's he up to now? Remain calm and listen carefully. This bomb will detonate in 5 minutes. What? Huh? I repeat, this HH-3000 will detonate in 5 minutes. What's going on? Your Honor, I recommend you adjourn this trial before this bomb goes off. Mr. Tenate, are you threatening me? I am the only one who can disable this bomb. If you do not want to die, your only option is to listen to me. But Mr. Tenate, didn't you say that's just a training model? A fake to practice on? I did, but also lied. This is the real deal. This is the HH-3000. The HH-3000 was used to blow up courtroom number 4, wasn't it? How do you know it was the real HH-3000 that blew up the courtroom number 4? Huh? The bomb that blew up courtroom was a different one. One that I made. What? Then are we to take that as a confession on your part? Take it any way you would like. Just before the trial, I took the HH-3000 out of the stuffed animal and put my own bomb into it. And that was the bomb that exploded and destroyed courtroom number 4. Mr. Tenate, please be reasonable. Do you really expect us to believe a crazy story like that? The HH-3000 is unique. I had never seen anything like it. It is so unique that I could not replicate the detonation mechanism. So I just had to have it. Besides, did anyone look inside the stuffed animal during the trial? Did anyone check to see if it really was the HH-3000 in there? Well, I must have confessed no one opened the stuffed animal to check. So there really is a possibility that the bomb was switched out. No, not a possibility. I certainty I did it. So you had a real bomb with him this whole time. You had better get out of here while you can. You do not have much time. Order in the court. Oh, I'm out of here. It's gonna blow. Run! You 4 are still here. Well, aren't you brave? It just wouldn't do for the judge proceeding over this court to run. But that horrible explosion the other day. The judge looks like he's about to book it for the nearest exit any second. As for Mr. Payne? That is... Ah! And he's off. Mr. Wright, what do we do? It'd be pretty pathetic to run now, wouldn't it? But the bomb might really go off. Only 3 more minutes, folks. Just as bald as his brother. Is that bomb really the HH-3000? What should I do? Run like a yelly-bellied chicken? Nah, fam. YOLO. Stand my guard. We stand on business in this courtroom. You can't run now. Well, it's been fun, but I will be going now. With my dear HH-3000, naturally. Oh, and by the way, I would advise against having me followed. Even with no remote switch, this bomb can still be triggered manually. If I think I'm being followed, I will detonate it on the spot. Farewell.
Oh.
Hold it!
You're not going anywhere, Tessinate. Oh. Your Honor, there's no reason to be afraid. That bomb is a fake. Oh. Are you sure, Mr. Wright? More of your famous bluffing. Even at the risk of your own life. Mr. Wright, none of your bluffing now. Not at a time like this. Lives are on the line here. I'm not bluffing, and I have proof. You do? We do? Yes, of course, Your Honor. It's right here in the photo of the bomb, clear as day. Proof that Mr. Nate's bomb is not the real HH3000. Really? Out with it then immediately. Where is the proof? What Mr. Tenate is holding is not the real HH3000. The crack? What's this saying? 12:16, 8:56 a.m. You know, I gotta make sure I choose the right spot. You don't want to mistake like earlier. The display for the timer on the bomb in the photo is broken. Most likely it broke when Mr. Tenay used a bomb to attack Detective Arm. But the display on the bomb in front of us is not broken. Alright. Oh, you're right. Therefore, this is not the real HH3000. Mr. Tenay was clearly lying when he said he switched out the bomb and the stuffed animal. The real HH3000 blew up in the courtroom number 4. This bomb is nothing more than a fake, a model used for training purposes. Fear not, Your Honor. I will examine the inside of the bomb transport case myself. Yes, please do that, Mr. Wright. No! Stop! What is that? Is that a blood stain? Just as I expected. Your lies have been blown to bits, Mr. Tenay. I'm confident DNA analysis on the bloodstain will confirm that it's Detective Arm's blood. And that those results will conclusively prove that you murdered Detective Arm. How about it, Mr. Tenay? Think you could dismantle this decisive evidence? Oh. Dismantle it? Ha 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 ha! You're too late. You missed your chance to run, so now you're out of time. This HH3000 is about to explode. Don't try to threaten us, Mr. Tenay. I've already proved that your bomb is a fake. It's real. This bomb is a real thing, I tell you. It's real. Ha 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 ha. Mad Bomber party of 1. There's no time left. It's going to blow. I have to disarm it. I have to take it apart. I can dismantle anything. I can take apart evidence. I can take apart bombs. I can dismantle it all. Dismantle, 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 dismantle. I'm not gonna make it. Only one thing left to go. Stop. Oh. Well, that's one way to dismantle it. With your chin. Made it. Oh my. Game over. Dismantle attempt failed. The crimson chin. Haha, it's all over. My life has been blown to pieces. It's all that stupid woman's fault. I was selling the bomb I disarmed on the black market. When I tried to take this one, she just had noticed, didn't she? She confronted me in courtroom number 4 that day. That's why I had no choice.
Before I knew what I was doing, I hit her. It's all her fault. While I was looking for a place to hide her body, she left a message in her own blood. The trial was about to start, so I didn't have time to clean up. And now all this. I thought for sure I could disguise her death with an explosion. Then that stupid defense attorney started sticking his nose in my business. After my testimony started, I went to courtroom number 4 and I found that kid all up in my bomb transport kit. Oh, Apollo opened it up. That's when I snuck up behind him and bam. And when the idiot police arrested that little girl, I thought for sure I could pin it all on her. Why? Oh, why? Today, you are hereby under arrest on suspicions of the courtroom bombing and the assault on Mr. Justice. Your innocence or guilt will be determined at a later trial. Now then, I see that members of the public have returned to the gallery. One person, however, seems to still be running far, far away. Be that as it may, I will now announce Mr. Junifer's Wood's verdict. Not guilty. Thank you, thank you. There's no one there. Court is adjourned. You did it, boss. Yeah, I guess we managed to pull it off somehow. Some say he's still running to this day. So many mysteries cleared up all at once. It was amazing. It just sort of worked out that way, didn't it? That's not the kind of thing that usually just works out. You made it happen. And the way that Mino prosecutor hightailed it out of here, that was great.
Mr. Wright, Dina, thank you for everything you did for me.
I'm so happy for you, Junie. Now you can go back home to the forest in peace.
I hope the both of you will come and visit me there sometime.
That'd be nice. Thank you for the invitation.
I don't know, Mr. Wright.
I'm not so sure you can make it all the way up to Junie's house. How high up do you live again, Junie?
Around 3,000 feet, I think.
What? That's no forest. That's a mountain.
But you know, boss,
there's something that still bothers me about the case. One little mystery we never got around to solving. Oh, that? Yeah, I was wondering about that too. Is this the unsolved mystery you're thinking of? The unsolved mystery? Wait, what? Oh, maybe the missing remote switch? Whatever happened to it?
Take that!
The remote switch, right?
yeah, I wonder where it disappeared to.
Maybe Mr. Tenay got rid of it somewhere? Yeah, it is a pretty big thing to leave unsolved, though. Well, let's leave it up to the police to find. For now, we should be celebrating our not guilty verdict. I guess you're right. Hey, I know. Junie, shall we go report the good news? You know, to that certain someone.
Okay.
Huh? Her grandmother?
No, silly, to Apollo.
Oh, right. Well, why don't we all go to the hospital together to see him?
Great idea.
I bet he's bored out of his mind.
Okay.
And so, the courtroom bombing case came to a close. But the next trial was just over the horizon. There's never a dull moment with so many lawyers in the office, that's for sure. Apollo Justice, Adina Sykes, and me, Phoenix Wright. Between the three of us, there's just no case we can't solve. When our powers combine, we're an unstoppable team. At least, that's what I believed. I don't like that. What do you mean that's what I believed?
But all that changed with what Apollo said to us that day. Uh-oh. It was something that would put my faith in us to the ultimate test. Date unknown, time unknown, Wright anything agency.
Sorry, but I'll be taking a leave of absence.
Wait, what do you mean by a leave?
Can you at least give me a reason why?
I can only say that this is something I must settle on my own.
Trucy! Something about that bombing. I wonder if it has some connection to
Oh, why, Apollo?
Apollo.
Why are you shutting us out?
What happened to you, Apollo? Ever since you put that jacket on, you've changed. Whose jacket is this? And now, for whatever reason, all my mind keeps doing is returning to the day I first met you. We had tackled our first case together, he and I, this past spring. And as we did, I came to know who he is and how he thinks. It was a very peculiar case, one in which the victim was killed by a mythical creature. I'm sorry, what? All right, well, that's episode 1. Woo! We did it. For completion, episode 1 of Dual Destinies from its opening chapter. Yeah. Let's just get a look to see what the opening cutscene is for episode 2. The monstrous turnabout. Ooh, okay. There's a lot happening right now and I'm speechless.
Long, long ago, the nine-tailed fox defeated the evil Tenmataro and sealed the fallen demon away. To this day, it is said that he slumbers even still within the forbidden chamber.
Hi?
Night, night, Alderman. Sweet dreams.
Well, that man's not gonna be in the next Phoenix Wright game.
At long last, the revival of Tenmataro is at hand.
Well, alright. Interesting. No, we're not gonna save it. We'll rewatch that next time. Oh, wait, can we see what the picture looks like? Episode 2, the monstrous turnabout. Oh my god, what's going on with that cat there? There's a lot in this picture right now. Who's on top of that building on the far left? What is happening in this picture? There's a lot. Oh wow, you can go to specific sections. That's actually kind of cool. Day 1, trial 1, day 2, trial 2. All right. Well, I'm gonna treat it like I've had done before. One episode per stream. Next time, I'm gonna do day 1 and trial 1, and then the next stream after that would be like day 2, trial 2, whatever. I've only been streaming. That's actually pretty short, 3.5 hours. So I'm not gonna end it. Switch over to some Overwatch or something. I don't want to move too far, but that was a really cool episode. I enjoyed that. I can't wait to go to this flashback episode and see hey Salem, see what happened to Apollo. Where did he get this jacket from? It went downhill. Who is he? Oh my god, in episode 5, is that my boy right there? Okay, I spoiled myself looking at that picture. It's okay. It's okay. I have to wait to episode 5 to see my husband. Anyway, you can switch over. I'm going to end the YouTube stream and then restart it back up for Overwatch, only because I don't want this stream, my Phoenix Wright stream on YouTube, to be like, you know, another like 6-hour stream with 2 different categories to it. But I'll be right back. I'm starting up Overwatch. If anyone wants to join me, feel free to pop into Discord and stuff like that.